The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right, all right. Hold on, let me see if I'm on this thing. Okay, yeah. I think I'm coming through. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'm kind of loud, ain't I? Oh, whatever. All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is December the 14th, 2023. And I want to invite you to go to talkrealsolutions.com, and on there you will find the 3-point plan to black empowerment and financial freedom. I don't even know what the 3-point plan is. Yeah, black empowerment and financial freedom. It has 3 points. The first point is to get together with like-minded people. The second point is to stop all unnecessary spending and save your money. The third point is, as a unit, invest or save your money in a verified and trusted institution. A great goal would be for you to open a black-owned business. And right above the 3-point plan, you have a link to hold on for a minute. I'm typing and trying to talk at the same time. I don't know. I guess I can't walk and chew bubble gum. Okay, I'm done. I had last week's title up there, and that's what I was just editing. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so yeah, the third unit, as a unit, you can. The third point is, as a unit, you can invest and save your money in a verified and trusted institution. A great goal would be for you to open a black-owned business, and right above it, we have a link to African American-owned banks and credit unions. You could all start moving our money to these institutions to start practicing group economics today. And check out the rest of the links and articles on the website. And if you want to participate in the show tonight, all you have to do is dial the number at 1-717-908-1834 and hit the access code at 917-324. And I'll get you on the line here. I think I got everything all set up. And you can join the conversation. And guys, I'm just going to wing it. I have not really looked at anything tonight to talk about, but I'm pretty sure all I have to do is use the little magic Google machine and all kind of topics can pop up that's current and relevant to our situation in this country, this day and time, and we can discuss those, or we can discuss whatever you want to discuss. It's up to you. You can talk about celebrity news, you can talk about politics, you can talk about stuff that's going on in your personal life. If you want to share or have a conversation, that's what we're here for. Talk Real Solutions. Just dial the number and we'll allow you to express yourself. Just keep in mind, I just ask that we try to keep it civil, have a conversation so everyone can hear. I know we got the people that like to come on and try to talk over each other and all that kind of stuff. And I've just asked that we don't have a conversation that way. We try to at least talk to each other and not at each other or over each other. That way everybody can hear, everybody can join in the conversation, and everybody can understand what we are trying to say. So, having said all of that, last week I stayed on the situation that's going on with P. Diddy for a while, and that was a good conversation. And the week before that, it was the Smiths, and their troubles that are surfacing on social media. There's a lot of celebrity news going on, and one thing that I noticed popping up on my timeline this time was that dude, what's his name, the black actor Jonathan Majors, guys. It's turning out, and I don't know, they're in trial right now, and it looks like there's a lot of shenanigans going on behalf of the lady making the claim, and that's what people were saying originally. And I was on the side of this guy needs to be careful. He hold on for a minute. I see another video here. Let me look at it right quick and see if I can show it on YouTube. But what the YouTubers are saying is that the lady making the claim, her evidence is falling apart because they spoke to the cab driver and all of that kind of stuff, and they've got new videos that they've been showing and all of that as evidence. And I'm going to take a look at this video here. Oh well, this is actually today. So I'm gonna update my information because this one here don't look good for Jonathan Majors. And it looked like there's a body cam video where it showed the lady had a bruised hand and a scratch behind her ear. So I don't know. Y'all know that if shit, I might well say if they get hurt and we're involved, then we're to blame. But the narrative was that Jonathan Major was receiving a text message on his phone, and his girlfriend wanted to see the text message, and she felt like she had the right to take his property and examine the phone. And in the process, I guess they were struggling, and a back and forth happened, and now you got these claims. And if you're just looking at it from my perspective, I think that if he was cheating, he was cheating. Okay, he's a cheater. But if you want to take it further and get into the legal part of it, then she had no business snatching his property, and he had every right to protect his property. And what happened after that is on the person who initiated the contact. That's just my opinion. We'll get into more of that, but I got to read up on this new evidence that I just seen and probably share that with you guys too. Last week I talked about the Jews in Israel and my views on how I think it's unfair that the world is looking at this situation and not seeing actually what's going on there, where they're killing civilians and they're getting away with it in the eyes of the world just because they're Palestinians. It's okay to watch these people get slaughtered. Now I don't know no Palestinians, and I'm pretty sure a Palestinian purist probably wouldn't support black people either. And I'm just saying that just because that's just the way the world is. In the eyes of the world and the eyes of other cultures, if you're black, and a descendant of Africa, you're the lowest on the rung. You see that when you look at Hispanic. You see that when you look at Asians. you look at other people of color, Indians from the country India, and some Native Americans here. When you look at people of other color and other races and other cultures, they're always under the false assumption that they're in line with the European. That's just my opinion, and I've got evidence to prove that. You can just look at Ron DeSantis running for president in the state of Florida, and he's MAGA, and he definitely has a Hispanic background. Look at Ted Cruz, he's Hispanic. You can look at Nikki Haley, she's Indian descent. You know, um, so there's example after example of how people of color just fit right in with the other side, no question asked. But if you're a person of color and you always looking down your nose at descendants of Africa, that's just the way the world is. Some people won't agree with that, but I just gave you clear examples of how it's working in the American politics. So, like I said, I don't know the Palestinians. I don't know if they give a shit about African Americans. I don't know. I doubt they do because the Islam religion is that confuses me too. Black Muslims. But my point is, I don't think that it's fair or right as a human being for the world to watch the slaughter of innocent people and try to spread propaganda that they're doing the right thing, because they're not. They're not. Hamas is not the entire population of Gaza. Hamas is not the 2.3 million people in Gaza, in the West Bank. That is not Hamas. So there should be no reason why a military with the armament that Israel has should just go through those cities block by block and kill innocent women and children, slaughter them, and America stands behind that propaganda that and back that genocide. I think is savage, barbaric, and America is showing what they really are. We always put ourselves on this pedestal and say that we stand for democracy and fairness and justice across the world, and that's just not true. If you look at this Hamas situation, it's just not true. When you look at the Ukraine, America took that stance as Russia being the bad guy and they're killing innocent people and all that kind of stuff. So you probably get behind that because Russia is the biggest military power there, and they're using more sophisticated weapons and just flattening and ruining towns and cities and just killing people, innocent people. So America took the side of the less fortunate in that situation, and the people who was have their democracy at risk, which is the Ukrainians. But in this situation, America is turning a blind eye to innocent people getting slaughtered. They just are. And what I'm saying is not anti-Semitic. It is not in support of Hamas. It's in support of humanity. Now, let me Google how many people was killed over there. At one point in time, I was talking about 8,000 people. Okay, here it is. Well, damn, that number has risen. So what I do is I put this on the screen, and this is just what pops up in Google, guys. I mean, this news could be right, it could be wrong. I don't know, but this is the Google search for how many people is killed in. Okay, so here we have it. It said the war ignited by Hamas in October the 7th attack in southern Israel has already brought unprecedented death and destruction to the impoverished coastal enclave, with much of the northern Gaza obliterated. More than 18,000 Palestinians killed, over 80% of the population of 2.3 million pushed from their homes. Listen, just that news right there is telling you they're not killing, they're not at war with Hamas. You would have to be some type of new fool to believe that Israel has used its military might to only go after the terrorists, and they accidentally killed 18,000 people. This is a structured, deliberate attack on a population of people. In other words, this is genocide. You cannot get no clearer now than the numbers that we are looking at on the screen. And not look at Israel as some type of genocidal, murdering, slaughtering, just barbaric military might that is wiping people off of the map because of who they are, because of nature of who they are, because of their background. This is what Israel is doing to the Palestinians. And because propaganda works and people are so easily convinced and indoctrinated, you have barely to little pushback on the modern world committing genocide. Here's the definition of genocide. I don't know what else to say. This is not Hamas that they're killing. Here's another Google search. The deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with an aim of destroying that nation or group. Based on the definition of genocide and the evidence of 18,000 Palestinians now dead, and this 18,000 people are not considered Hamas terrorists, we know, just based off of this information, Israel has another agenda at play here. And based on for history, we can kind of put two and two together and understand what that agenda is, which is to wipe out the Palestinians. And anybody sitting back in agreement with what Israel is doing now, you're just as bad as Adolf Hitler. You're just as bad as Stalin or Mao or any of these past people that kill large numbers of people. Right? So you're telling me in the modern world, there is no way that a compromise could not have been worked out without slaughtering 18,000 people. We know just by simple demographics of what I know from the Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza, that they were not well armed, that they killed so many of the men that most of the population were women and children. And the age of that population, because Israel has already killed so many of them, weren't that old. I think I heard somewhere, and people could correct me, the median age of the Palestinians was around 30 and below. You telling me a group of people, mainly women and children, 30 and below, is a danger? So much so that you have to kill 18,000 of them. And the world is sitting back on its ass. Europe is sitting back on its ass. The United States is sitting back on its ass. And Canada is sitting back on its ass. And not calling Israel the fucking terrorists and the murdering, genocidal fucking maniacs out for what the fuck they are. And this AP article is crazy. Months after this thing has started, I'm looking at the headline of the AP article, and it's saying Israel and the U.S. show sharp division over mounting casualties and future of the war against Hamas. What the fuck you mean sharp division? The United States should speak to the American people and say it do not support genocide of anyone, no matter if it's happening from our allies or not. There's a chance to take the high ground here. There's a chance to call out those Jews, Israel, and tell them what a democracy really stands for. And we don't stand for killing innocent people. When has this become okay? Let's see what this damn article say. Oh, look at this little thing in the corner down here. Well, it says, let me see if I can get back to it. It says Biden takes a tougher stance on Israel. Indiscriminate bombing of Gaza. After 18,000 people has been murdered, you gonna take a tougher stance now? This is some bullshit. Because the results of this headline and that headline that I just read from Joe Biden is Israel is going to continue to commit genocide. Israel and the United States on Tuesday showed their sharpest public disagreement yet over the conflict and the future of the war against Hamas, as the two allies became increasingly isolated by global calls for a ceasefire. A ceasefire is not going to correct the war crimes that has been committed by Israel. Israel need to pull the fuck back, target Hamas, Find the leader of Hamas. Fix those Palestinians that has been killed financially. Yes, war crimes, Jermaine. Israel is committing war crimes by killing innocent people. Israel is committing war crimes by targeting medical facilities and schools. Israel is committing war crimes. Well, and Jermaine, damn it, now you know I know what the hell I'm talking about. So let's see what war crimes is. Oh my goodness. I have to teach you guys all the time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so, well, I'm not going to read the whole Declaration of War Crimes, but here's the Genocide Prevention of War, okay? And war crimes, okay? Article 8, war crimes. Let's see if we can get something that'll touch on grave breaches of Geneva Convention of August 12th, namely any of the following acts against person, property protected under the provision of relevant Geneva Convention: willful killing, torture, inhumane treatment, including biological experiments, willful causing of great suffering. Well, we can stop right there. Or serious injury to bodily or health. Extensive destruction and appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly. Compelling a prisoner of war, or other protected person to serve in the forces of hostile power, that one on count, willfully depriving a prisoner of war or protected person of the rights of fair and regular trial. Willfully, unlawfully, well, that one, and whenever we got 18,000 damn body count, that one falls up under that one. Unlawful deportation or transfer or unlawful confinement. When they're moving all these Palestinians, 2.3 million of them, across the goddamn Gaza Strip or across the goddamn West Bank, unhoming them and just blowing up their motherfucking houses, taking hostages, other serious violations of the law and customs applicable to international armed conflict within the established framework of the international law may, namely, any of the following acts: intentionally or directing attacks against civilian populations, such as against individual civilians, not taking direct part in hostilities. 18,000 motherfuckers was not fighting Israel. Out of them 18,000 people, I guarantee you, there was people that was not taking part of the goddamn war. War crimes, Jermaine, war crimes. War crimes. Intentionally directing attacks against civilian objects, that is, objects which are not military objectives. War crimes, Jermaine. They wrote the policies. They sat at the Geneva Convention and came up with this fucking goddamn law. And they're violating damn near every fucking goddamn section that I'm reading. War crimes. Israel is committing war crimes. Man, I'm gonna tell you, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And I guarantee you that Israel has broke damn near every damn tenet of this motherfucking war crimes violation. I promise you they have. Just look at the fucking mass destruction that has happened in Gaza and the West Bank for no motherfucking reason. Just look at it. They're not targeting Hamas. You got 18,000 casualties, and you telling me that you cannot, with all of your military might, go into the West Bank and Gaza, as small as it is, and find the fucking enemy and take them out. So, where was I at? So, yeah, war crimes. I'm not backing off of that. That's what the hell it was. That's what they doing over there. They're committing genocide and war crimes. All right, so where was I at? I didn't pass that. Did I? Goddamn, Jermaine, you made me lose my goddamn place. The Gaza Strip. Did I go? Wait a minute, hold on. This damn, the AP, fuck the AP. Oh no, this is it. Call for a global ceasefire. The dispute emerged while Israel forces carry out strikes across Gaza, crushing Palestinian homes. War crimes. President Joe Biden said that he told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that Israel was losing international support because it's indiscriminate bombing. So right there, the president of the United States is telling Israel that they are committing war crimes by indiscriminately bombing. When you bomb indiscriminately, you're going to kill people that are not involved in the conflict. War crimes. And that Netanyahu should change his government, which is dominated by a hard right party. Right there is the key. Whenever you look at right-wing politics, you're looking at the mindsets of fucking Adolf Hitler. You're looking at the mindset of Donald Trump. You're looking at the mindset of authoritarians. You're looking at the mindset of the leader of Turkey. You're looking at the mindset of people that will and are committed to commit genocide. Just hours later, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution calling for the humanitarian ceasefire by a vote of 153 in favor and 10 against, and 23 abstained. The non-binding vote is largely symbolic, but it serves as an important barometer of the world's opinion. None of the major powers joined Israel and the United States in their opposition to the ceasefire. Even though Joe Biden is publicly telling Benjamin Netanyahu that he needs to stop and pull back from his bombing raids, the United States in this UN vote voted to continue bombing. This is how fucked up the United States is in this shit. They didn't vote against it. Biden comments come as the White House National Security Advisor heads to Israel this week to discuss with Netanyahu a timetable of the war and what happens if Hamas is defeated. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin will travel to Israel next week for a visit with the Pentagon, said aims to show the United States support for Israel, but also press the need to avoid more civilian casualties. What the fuck? You can't ride this fence, America. Lord Austin is going in support of Israel to press them to stop fucking the casualties in Gaza when Israel is determined to kill as many motherfucking Palestinians as its bombs can fucking kill. You got to take a harder stance than this. You need to cut off fucking funding. You need to stop some fucking sanctions. You need to make it clear that Israel should not continue to murder people in this manner. Something needs to be done that makes a statement. Stop providing them with them fucking bombs. Stop giving them tanks. Stop giving them airplanes. Cut off their fucking military funding. Do something. Threaten to cut that shit off or something. So these motherfuckers, because Israel ain't gonna listen to the United States, because under Donald Trump, the United States has become a pussy to fucking goddamn Israel, and Joe Biden is too weak to get his goddamn gusto back. Let me stop. It just has. This is what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that United States and Israel have not been allies for a long time, but goddamn it, Israel been walking over the United States, and they know the United States ain't gonna do nothing but make these public statements in support of Israel. and at the same time watch this atrocity go on. The war ignited by Hamas attack in southern already brought unprecedented deaths. I think I already read that. With more than 18,000 Palestinians killed and over 80% of the population, 2.3 million, pushed from their homes, the U.S. has urged Israel to do more to reduce the civilian casualties since its launch invasion in Gaza at the beginning of the month. But the toll has continued to mount at a seemingly dizzying rate. The devastation in the north, indiscriminate bombing. Look at that. I guess Hamas was all up in there, huh? They want nobody having no fucking family dinner there. They want nobody putting their children to sleep to go to fucking school the next day. They want nobody preparing to go to their religious rituals. They want nobody there sitting in the house looking at TV, enjoying dinner. They just had to put a motherfucking military bomb through the building, through those apartments. They had to blow that shit up. And why? Because it was occupied by a Palestinian. That's the only reason that they blowing these people up. That's it. Because it was occupied by a Palestinian. Those streets was occupied by a Palestinian. We got to destroy these fucking streets. We don't want Palestinians walking on these damn streets. It ain't got nothing to do with no fucking Hamas. And look at these motherfuckers imitating Americans in their uniforms and their military attire. Right? And they make sure they put this in here. What? Look at this. Read this little caption. Israel security forces inspect a site hit by a rocket fired from Gaza Strip in Holden, central Israel on Monday. So let's assume that the rocket was come from Gaza, right? What got damaged? That fucking car? Right? Now compare it to this motherfucking picture where they took out a whole motherfucking building with fucking families in it. But we got to show this picture where they're picking up little pieces of a fucking rocket compared to a fucking building destroyed that had families and streets that were destroyed that had families. Oh, we got to have some sympathy for the Israeli police standing up there in them two goddamn tight uniforms, picking up pieces off a street where a car looked like it was blown up. One of these things ain't like the other. This is propaganda right here. This is propaganda. All right. So I think I'm done with Israel. Y'all know my opinion on it. I ain't got nothing against Jewish people. I ain't got nothing against Israel, but I got something against the way they conducting this military operation and killing innocent people. And if you are anywhere a piece of a decent human being, you would have something against it too. But the American media outlet, the American don't have a fucking spine because they're not reporting on it the way they should report on it. Even with this AP article, and AP is supposed to be nonpartisan down the fucking middle, they wrote this story leaning towards sympathy for fucking Israel. Once again, think back to that picture I just showed you of the Israelis looking through the streets of that blown up car. And the wording for this video says, Palestinians look for survivors of the Israeli bombardment of Gaza Strip in Rafah Tuesday. So you got a whole motherfucking building blow the fuck up with people up under this fucking rubble, right? While they stick in this article a picture of fucking goddamn police officer or security personnel with too tight fucking uniforms on, picking up pieces out the street. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This is war crimes. People in these homes were not Hamas. Well, I can't say that, with certainty. But being that the story kind of alluded to indiscriminate bombing, I'm leaning towards that the people that they're looking for under that rubble most likely was not Hamas. Okay? I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure if the people under that rubble was Hamas, then we will hear reports about how many Hamas soldiers that they killed or what Hamas leader that they killed. But that ain't what we hearing. All we seeing is people picking up bodies out of the rubble caused by Israeli bombing. Now, I mean, like I said, people don't seem to want to get on the right side of humanity these days, because they've been indoctrinated with politicians that push one narrative or another. And if you're on one side of this conversation, then you have this political view, and if you're on the other side of this conversation, then you must have the other political view. When I say fuck politics, fuck your politicians. These people don't care about nobody. They don't. And then you'll say, well, Tyrone, why do you participate in politics? Because I do not want the world and the United States looking like motherfucking this. That's why I fucking give a fuck about politics. And that's why I participate. Because if somebody like me don't continue to participate, the United States, down there in Texas, over there in Arkansas, in Myrtle Beach, wherever the fuck you live at, Baltimore, one day, these fucking crazy ass right-wing politicians don't give a shit if the United States look like this image that you're looking at on the screen and you're digging motherfuckers from under fucking rubble. They don't care. Hell, they got bombs in their garages. You heard Sarge say that he's stockpiling fucking grenades and shit. They don't care. They don't care. So yeah, that's why I participate in politics, because I'm not wanting to live in a world, and I don't want my children or grandchildren or their children to live in a world that look like Gaza look right now. That's why I participate. Donald Trump clearly said, y'all gonna think I'm lying. Oh my goodness. So I'm not even gonna say it till I find the article. Okay, so let me see if I can find it. I bet you every time I want something. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Listen. So listen. Donald Trump clearly said that he wants to be a dictator. This is how brazen. And he knows that he brainwashed his fucking followers, that he can sit on national TV and announce that he wants to be a dictator of a democracy. What the fuck does that mean? That means the democracy is going to end. But you still got people who's out here voting and cheering for this wannabe dictator that wants America to end up looking like this. I'm not making this up. I did not say it. Look at the screen. Look at the headlines. The Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, The Independent, Rolling Stone, USA Today, The Hill, all reported on this fool saying that he wants to be a dictator. So I didn't say that. So if you want America to end up looking like Gaza, because once somebody with extreme right-wing views, it don't have to be Trump. Once with somebody with extreme right-wing views get into office and they don't give a shit about the rule of law, all of this shit that you're used to, all of the norms, all of the rules, all of the guidelines, the guardrails of this democracy is gone away. It's gone. Let me see who this is on the phone. I know I'm running off at the mouth. Who's this unknown caller?
Oh, this is Cuz.
Hey, what's up, Cuz? What you got, man?
Hey, man. No, I was just chiming in to let you know I read that. I read that in several articles and several newspapers, and I've seen it on, I don't think it was CNN, but I've seen where he said that he would be dictator for a day if he was elected president. He did say that.
But think about this, Cuz. Think about this. If you are willing to say that you're going to be dictator for a day, do you think that you're going to give it up in a day?
That's crazy. You know he's not. Let him be dictator for a day. It's going to turn into inevitable, whatever. But it's going to be more than a day.
Right.
That's what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wants to do. That's what people say he wanted to do when he got in office. You know, that came up. Now he said it himself. I read it. I seen it. I don't know. And he still got followers out the ass. And still, I know it's some Republican people that Republican politicians that heavily don't agree with him, but they don't have the balls to come out and say. I think the only one that has balls is that Christie. Christie, he'll stand up for it. If you can get more in there like Christie, Trump wouldn't have a shot.
Right.
That's it.
Right. I agree with you. And you say that they don't have the balls to come out, and that's just an assumption from people like you and I saying that these Republicans don't have the balls to come out. So I'm not even going to assume that they don't have the balls because I have to assume that they agree with him. I have to because they don't say nothing. The only one that comes out and says something like you said is Chris Christie and Liz Cheney and that Kinzinger guy or Mitch whatever his name is. They're the only ones that come out and say something. The other ones, they got to agree with him. Because if they show up on Fox News, they don't say anything against what Donald Trump said. You know? This country is in a bad state of affairs, man. It really is. And we got people in the chat room like Jermaine that want Donald Trump to be president again. You know, ABC wants Donald Trump to be president again.
Wow.
And of course, Sarge wants Donald Trump to be president again. And they don't get it. They don't get it. And I think they just blindly speaking against Democrats or liberal or progressive thinking people. And that's the only weapon that they got is to cling on to somebody who aspires to be a dictator. And they don't know how stupid they look. They can't make an argument for the opposing view of how this country is supposed to be governed. So they got to cling on to a dictator.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I'll leave your line open, man. But guys,
All right, cool.
what I was just saying, you can see in these headlines that Donald Trump, if he was able to win, that he would have Steve Bannon back in the White House, that racist representative that he's Stephen Miller, he would have all of those racists back in the White House. Yeah, I want y'all to notice that when Donald Trump was in the White House and we looked at his staff, there was no black people on that staff except for that neurosurgeon. And
whatever happened to him?
Well, he been pushed to the side. That was the only black person that he had on his staff. There was no variety on that staff. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that when Donald Trump or somebody like Donald Trump takes charge, they want white America to dictate what the rest of the country do. Period. There is no question about that. And that is not what this democracy or this country has grown into being. That ain't what all these struggles was about. Hell, they didn't even fight the Civil War about that. You know? So, I mean, it's clear where we're headed if you have another victory for Donald Trump. Now, it might be a little light over the hill with all of these charges that he's facing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Fannie Willis down there is not playing with this man. And if Fannie Willis falls short, it'll be because of the white people in Georgia sat on that jury, and they allowed this criminal to get away with crimes.
Right.
And Jack Smith is not playing with him. Letitia James, that's a civil suit, but the serious ones are Jack Smith with the documents case and Jack Smith with the January 6th case. Those are felonies that this guy is facing. You know? Who's this caller 860?
Hey, what's good, man?
Hey, who is this?
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, Gary?
You forgot who this is?
No, I didn't hear you, man. Your voice was kind of low. What's happening, man?
I'm good, man. How's everybody doing? TRS, man. Long time. I miss y'all.
Oh, it's going all right. Still doing the same thing, man. Just running off at the mouth, chilling.
Yeah. All right. What's about PD? What happened to PD now? Is he going to jail now? What's going on? I heard the feds raid his house.
When, today?
No, it was some week. One of it's on YouTube or social media.
Yeah.
Oh, well, last week all we talked about was the accusations and all of that kind of stuff. So this must be new news here. I'm gonna Google it right quick. I didn't hear anything about the feds raiding his house.
Well, I heard the feds had a warrant. I don't know if they raided it yet or not, but they had a warrant for him.
Oh, there's a video here from Murad Morali that says the feds raided PD house. Okay, they're just talking. Breaking news, feds raided PD house. And it's all on Twitter, it looked like. Hold on for a second. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for more news. I'm gonna wait for more news to come out on this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I do know, a lot of sponsors have dropped him. Hulu, and several others.
Police targeted raid home witness to see they ain't no news outlets picked it up, so I don't know about that one.
Right.
Yeah, but it has to be accurate. That's why I kind of asked. You didn't know about it, so it looked like I'm not saying it's true, but it doesn't look like there's not validation of that was really that happened. Validation that happened. But if they did raid his house before, in the past, it would be surprised if they tried to again. That means they're trying to get something off this dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Man,
They did have a lot of sponsors that's dropping in bit by bit, just like they did Kanye West. Kanye talked about them Jews. You see what they did to him. They wouldn't even, some of them didn't even want his money in their bank.
Well, now listen, I'm not going to say the claim is not true. All I'm saying is just not validated yet. Because sometimes the news comes out this way. The TikTokers get it way before the fucking mainstream outlet gets it, and then they'll be the ones out there spreading it. But I just don't want to put it out as true. And let me just say, if it is true, then I can understand why they would do that with these allocations coming out of these court cases. So I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but I understand if they need evidence to support these claims that are being made against this music mogul, this millionaire, then I could understand why something like that would happen. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
Miss Elisa, welcome to the store. How you doing tonight, sis?
I'm doing okay, Tyrone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm working with one earphone. Yeah, I heard on YouTube, and I'm not on TikTok, that Diddy's house allegedly was raided. But when I first heard that earlier today, I couldn't find any reputable news sources reporting on that. So that is just that allegedly this happened. So I don't know until we hear. I'll go with TMZ if they reported it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But until I hear that, I'm just gonna put that off in the corner until I hear about that. But you was talking about Donald Trump, and yeah, it's scary because like people just ignoring that he was talking about the Insurrection Act and different things like that. And I think his people are trying to get him to pull back a little bit off of some of his talk about being a dictator. But then when you have far-right media, like some of these far-right media sources, I can't think of the guy, the Jewish guy, they're saying things like, well, the United States probably needs a dictator or dictatorship. I don't know. All of that stuff is scary. And then when you look at the stats as far as this plays into that, you look at the stats as far as literacy. The stats for literacy has really gone up pretty high in the United States, and a lot of that is because of COVID and different things like that. The kids lost a lot of time in school, but we have a lot of illiteracy in this country, and the more illiteracy you have in a country, the easier it is to manipulate the population. And we just have to look at the far right. They're going to have to be masterful in how they manipulated their people. I mean that nothing can be done. They don't care. And then the whole thing that's going on, the Israel and the slaughter that's going on in Gaza, that has really hurt Joe Biden in the polls. Now, I always put polls aside for now. It's still somewhat early, but it has really hurt him in the polls, and a lot of young people are not with Joe Biden because a lot of them are standing for ceasefire and the freedom from that occupation for the Palestinians. So he's not doing good in that at all. And the latest polls came out again today in a lot of swing states. There's a lot of noise in the background. A lot of noise.
Hey, cuz, mute your mic for a minute, cuz. Hey, mute your mic. I guess we hear your headphone moving around or something.
Oh, okay. He's down in the polls in a lot of the swing states. Well, I mean, as we have all said, we're not a fan of Joe Biden. I never wanted Joe Biden to be president. But when he first said that he was going to run, he said it was going to be one term and it was going to help the country to get rid of Trump. Okay, you did that. And I was disappointed to hear that he said he was going to seek re-election. I mean, and if the election was held tomorrow, next month, 6 months, he would lose. And we would have our dictator on staff. And I just think it's selfish of him, it's selfish of the DNC, and standing behind Joe Biden instead of primarying him and letting some other people, if he just must run, letting some other people throw their hat in the ring. And let's see if the people could get in behind someone that could possibly do something with this thing. And there's this Israeli Gaza slaughter that's going on. That's not helping him. That's why he's dropped in the polls. Right now, we're in a terrifying situation. We really are. We're in a terrifying situation. And a lot of people said that they're not going to vote Trump, but they're just not going to vote at all. And then some people are saying they're going to vote Green Party. Okay, yeah. All that's going to do is help until we get to the point in this country, if we need to, for third party. Maybe build up the Green Party or something until we really get to a point where third party is actually viable.
Right.
Should we be for? It's not viable right now.
Yeah, see, like if Cornel West would try to run for Democrats, I would vote for Cornel West. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he said that I don't agree with, but I would vote for him in opposition to Joe Biden. That's just me. I know y'all saying that he probably won't win. He probably won't win, but you know, I would vote. You know, the other.
If he were viable in a primary, yes, I would vote for him. In a primary, a Democratic primary, yes, I would. And in a Democratic primary, I would vote for probably anybody other than Joe Biden in a primary. But when you're talking about the general election, I don't know if we have the luxury to vote for, in the general primary, in the general election. None of us wants Joe Biden. But, I mean, what's at stake? And so many people and then I hear what a lot of the young people were saying. Well, unless they do something, they changed their policy on what's happened and what's happened with the Israel policy. And that's not just the United States. It's most Western countries. That's the policy that they've been going with for decades. That occupation has been going on for decades. That is the policy of the West. And I'm just not willing to throw away this country because I have nieces, young nieces. I had a pretty good run. But I have young nieces and nephews and other family members who I want them to have at least the opportunity to be able to maneuver here in this country. If Trump gets back in, and if he is able to do the things that he's saying that he wants to do, even though they're telling him to pull back on some of that, I just don't think the young people have a good chance. And I don't know what people really expect that it's going to be. You don't want a dictator. You don't want that. And with so much illiteracy and ignorance in this country, you really don't want that. I think if we had viable candidates on both sides of the aisle, Republicans, they have to seem to gone off the rails. But if we had viable candidates on the Republican side, that's why I was hoping that the governor from my state, our ex-governor from my state, who was Republican, that's why I was hoping he would run. The Republicans called him a rhino, whatever. But that would be a viable candidate on the Republican side, if we had some viable candidates on the Democratic side, and give people a choice. It's like we're right back here again that we were in 2020, stuck between a rock and a hard place again. And this time, it's really worse because they know what to do now. And people keep saying, well, people were saying Trump was going to do that when he was president before. And they said he tried. And this is the thing that really, really irks me when people say people say I was all scared, said he was going to do those things before. He never did them. He tried at every stance, and the people that was in his ear, he tried at every stance. But guess what? The policies and the different things and the certain acts of the Constitution and different things was able to hold him back. They held. Those things held. They did. And he had people in his own administration that when he was talking about enacting the Insurrection Act, he was talking about doing that before. And people in his administration, his own cabinet, said, if you do that, we're going to resign. We had things in the Constitution that it upheld. It held. That's why he was not able to do certain things. We had General Milley and different other the Joint Chiefs that held and did what they were supposed to do to keep the things that was trying to be done from happening. So those things didn't happen because people just like to say, y'all said he was going to do those things and he didn't. They tried, but our Constitution and our things held. But we can't count on that. I mean, we can't count on that happening the next go round. And then all this talk about Steve Bannon being his chief of staff. And this is the thing that is mind-boggling to me. This man, part of his doctrine, part of the things that he's talked about for years, and that he believes in and that he wants to do is white ethno state. And I don't get black people who is not listening to that. There's no place, there's no room in that for you. And if this man is allowed to win the presidency and step back into office, the things that held the first go round might not hold the next time. There's not going to be people that were in place because he's going to replace a lot of people with complete and utter yes men. Not because Donald Trump is that smart that he knows how to do all these things. He's not. He is a dingbat. He's an idiot. He's an idiot of a human being. But it's not him to be afraid of. It's the people that are surrounding him, the Steve Bannons and these people that are just dogged in the things that they want to do. Those are the people that you should be afraid of, not him. He just wants the glory. He wants to be the greatest. He wants to be loved. He wants to be bowed down to. He doesn't care about such things that I'm speaking of. People around him too. And they know he is the tool that they're going to use to be able to get these things done and to be able to turn this country into what they want to turn it into. And there is no place in that for black people. And I don't understand. People, they're just going to ignore that. Well, he didn't do it he didn't do it when he was in office before. No, he did. He tried on many occasions. And people need to go back over and listen to what his administration and the people who were close to him said the things that he wanted to do, because he had people in his ear telling him to do this, to do that. But our institutions and our things, it held. And all that shit is hanging on by a thread now. So I don't know what to think. Tyrone, this is it. I know we all sounded like this back before 2020, doom and gloom, and a lot of people was y'all just so doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really scary now. It really, really is scary. And then you got them people over there fighting in the sand. United States, Netanyahu has made the United States and the other Western country, but especially the U.S., it's bitch. It's personal bitch that will go along with whatever it is they want to do. Just like the House and Senate, they say they might not be able to push through the bills that they have in front of them right now. It might not get done. Mitch McConnell said not probably till January. Well, y'all ain't doing no other work, no way. So just go on. But it's not that they don't want to give Israel any money. It's not that they don't want. They want more accountability from Ukraine. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. But they want more money for border patrol and all of that. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand that the chaos and the unstable way the right wing wants this country, it's a necessity. If you look at the other countries, if you look at Russia, if you look at North Korea, if you look at other countries with dictators, even in South America with the warlords, they always got the people in chaos because the leadership that is in charge, they rake in all the benefits and they starve and they have the people fighting each other, and the leaders that are in charge is steady taking and trying to become the world's richest man or the world's greatest leader and all this. They don't care about the people. So they need the chaos. So they will take apart this democracy so people can be at each other's throat, and they're accomplishing that now by having Republicans fight against Democrats and liberals fight against conservatives. They're accomplishing the chaos now by having us have these political back and forths and not realize that we live in one country and we should come together under the nation and try to look out what's best for this country instead of what's best for these individual politicians.
But they don't care, because look at Russia. Mm-hmm. They have a dictator, and they have all of these oligarchs.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Stealing from the people, stealing from the people, doing what they want, and these people want the same. They want an white ethno state here in the United States, and I'm just not ready to throw away. Even though I do not like Joe Biden, I do not want him to run. I was hoping that something would come about and they would primary his ass. Still might. Keep your fingers crossed. But it's like, hold your nose, close your eyes, and then you have to just vote for this man. Look at he barely moving like the Crypt Keeper. What are you doing? Yep. You should not be running for president. You're too, and I'm not an atheist, because I look at Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is quick. He's this, so he older than Biden. But Biden can barely cross his legs. He's sitting up there looking like he's in pain, that he needs to go take a nap. He's too, and Trump is suffering from he got issues and stuff too. He's trying to claim that he's doing, like he don't know who's the president. No, he's claiming that he was doing that on purpose. No, he got cognitive issues too. And look at we stuck with. We stuck with one president with cognitive issues who's orange, who is a liar, and who is a thief, who should be in prison and wants to be a dictator. And Biden, you might as well just stick a fork in his ass.
Well, it makes the Democrats. It makes the Democrats just the same as the Republicans, as they're blindly following Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden, listen, the Democrats, you got a way out. You can peacefully pass the baton to somebody who's more qualified and actually have that person start trying to galvanize this country behind them. Joe Biden can show the support for this person. You can pass the baton to somebody else. But like you said, Joe Biden is too old. And listen, if Joe Biden run and win, I will support Joe Biden because actually he's doing pretty good for this economy. And he's did a lot of stuff for this country. So that's the truth. That ain't no bullshit. Joe Biden is doing his damn thing up there. But his age is going to be a showstopper and possibly cause him to lose the election to a damn dictator. And Donald Trump ain't like she said, Donald Trump ain't no better because he's just as old. These people need to stop.
He got cognitive issues too, because at some point in time, he don't even know who's the president. And he don't know that we have already fought World War II. You mean World War III, you dummy. So he got cognitive issues too. But that's why the whole thing is just crazy. Biden said he was going to run one time. You did what you set out to do. You helped straighten out some things, even though there's a lot of things you could have done better. But that we can erect some statues, towards you, because they want them 2 terms. They said if they look at it as a failure if you only did 1 term. But at what you said you were gonna do, that 1 term and get your ass on. And then now, it was his selfishness, and then the DNC is going along with it. Biden, if the election was 6 months between now and 6 months, he will not win. And so he's going to go down and go down in history as the oldest president who caused this experiment to lose its democracy. That what you want? Is that what the people want? Is that what the DNC want? I mean, there's still time to primary him. There really is, but they got to get serious here. And then the people mad because of what's going on over in the sand out there in Israel and Gaza. I'm not ready to throw away this country because of what's going on over there. And then I will say this. I don't want any American soldiers over there dying in that desert. I don't. But this is policy. And a lot of people who got who this is their first time doing advocacy. They see the situation in Palestine, but are you willing to throw away this country because this is your first step up for advocacy? And I heard someone say, I read someone say it, that Donald Trump get back in, he already said what he gonna do as far as people protesting and stuff. He gonna handle that with the Insurrection Act. So, are you willing to just throw things away? They said just throw things away, and like how we protesting and trying to do the things that we doing here now. But if he get in and does the things that he has said he's going to do, and with the people that he's surrounding himself with, and when you read up on these people, you know what they about and what they want.
Well, so, I mean, listen, there's examples.
Don't want him, but Joe Biden gives us another day to protest. Donald Trump gets in, no more.
Well, they're blind because there's examples of Republicans taking away your rights right now. They're using censorship to ban books. That means you can't read what you want to in this country. They're taking away rights from women and their health care. So they're taking away rights right now. And if you try to teach your child something about the history of this country as it pertains to race in this country, they're telling you cannot talk about that stuff. The LGBTQ community is being silenced from being actually free Americans and walking around and being who they are. So they're just taking away rights from Americans right now. So whenever they get power, they're going to put it in law that these things are against the law. They're going to go against the Constitution and start taking away rights of Americans. And they have been doing that already.
And most important, and this is for black folks, and it's not just black people, white folks too, but because I'm black, I'm talking about black folks. If they get in, there's one of the main things they're going to do. They claim that that's not what they're going to do, but this is what they want to do, is gut the hell out of Social Security.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of black people, a lot of our people survive off Social Security. What the hell is y'all going to do? And a lot of our people are employed by the post office. And they intend to, they've already said what they want to do with the post office. What about a lot of black people? You have to look at the percentage of our people that were able to somewhat make it in the middle class and buy homes and this and that through the post office. You know what they want to do with that? And they most definitely will gut Social Security. So I don't understand people. And then the most dangerous part is Steve Bannon and them and they white ethno state. Where does that leave us?
Right. So Listen, with the post office, right? Let me show you how the Democrats are in cahoots with these damn Republicans. When Donald Trump got into office, the post office was running fine. It was low on fucking budget or whatever the fuck it needed to be funded and all that kind of bullshit, right? But that's normal for the post office. But what Donald Trump did was got rid of the postmaster general and installed Louis DeJoy as the postmaster. He was supposed to stifle the vote by slowing down mail-in ballots and all that kind of bullshit. When the Democrats got in, they didn't do shit to Louis DeJoy. They left his ass right there in place. He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still there.
Yeah, go ahead, cuz.
And if we get a dictator, Trump get back in, then Louis DeJoy gonna really get down in that damn post office. And all that is they're gonna take it, and somebody are gonna get rich off of it, and that's a lot of jobs is gonna be gone.
And let me say this to ABC, ain't feel like chatting it. You can go after me, cuz. ABC, I'm talking about actual rights that has been taken away. I'm not talking about fake rights like fucking mask and COVID shots. Those aren't rights, you idiot. Those are medical damn choices that people make. You could have worked, you couldn't have worked. Those aren't rights. You talking about rights like that. But go ahead, cuz.
Oh, talking about Biden. Biden is running, and he had spoke on this. Biden said he was running to stop stop Trump from being president. I don't think he really wanted to run, but nobody else is out there chomping the bit.
No, they was good.
And listen. Yeah. But he figures he has so much popularity, and Trump was gaining in the polls. He was gaining in the polls. And Biden just wanted to step up to stop him. If somebody else comes along, I don't know. I think they're gonna let him. I think he might let him in. But right now, he's doing this because he don't want Trump to win.
But no, it's getting too far in the election season for a new candidate to even get in there, man. If they're going to be a new person, I mean, they need to be on the scene right now so Americans can get used to them. Yeah.
They need to be doing it now. And Biden stepped in when they got him to step in to run for 2020. There was a lot of valuable people. There was a lot of valuable people running, and the DNC pulled that mess and made them all drop out one by one by one by one. Biden put his hat in the ring because he always wanted to be president. He wanted to be president longer than any of these people that was ever running. He always wanted, and he wants.
He ran against Barack Obama. Biden ran against Barack Obama, and then when Barack Obama won, I think he said he called Barack Obama articulate or whatever the hell he said that was fucked up and racist. Yeah. All right, unknown caller, who's this on the line?
Maze.
What's happening, Maze? Let me let Elisa finish her thought, and then you can go.
Okay. No, I was just going to say that, no, Biden always wanted to be president. That's his selfishness. He wants a second term. That's his selfishness. Because he's always, regardless of how old he is, back when he ran against Trump, there were a lot of valuable people that had they hat in the ring. And the DNC pulled their trickery, and remember they all started just dropping out one by one because they said we're going to all have to come together and put our hat in this ring behind him because Trump got to go. Yeah, Trump got to go. And I think everybody just went along with that. And Biden was like, okay, but he said one term. That man always wanted to be president, and he wants a second term. And you know what? At this point, I wouldn't care if Kamala Harris became president of the United States. I really don't care because that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days that after, if Trump is not president, that we can protest, that we can fight for rights, that we can do different things. You're not going to be able to do that. And for anybody who say that that Trump is not going to do that because he said it before, but he never did. Shit held, and I will say that again. The shit held, Constitution held, the different departments, the different people, they made it. They held that thing. not going to be so lucky the next time because he knows what to do. That's all, Tyrone.
All right. What's going on, Miss Mace?
Oh, yes, I was watching the Congress today. If most people watch the Congress, they'll see what's going on. But if they're just looking at the media telling them how to think and what to do, they won't understand and see what it's doing. So the Republicans were sitting there in the well. So he had one reading out of a piece of paper, but he was reading the wrong thing. He was hitting on the table. Then he jumped and took it from him and told him to sit down. He's sitting in the chair like he was about to cry, and he started reading it. I said, now, isn't this a mess? I mean, they can't even think straight. Can't even get a Speaker of the House. Got to take 2 or 3 months and all this stuff, and y'all think they running the country.
But that's a good point because, guys, look at what they're doing. America, they know America is so mentally weak that they have this fake hearing about a impeachment that so many Americans gonna be wrapped up into saying Joe Biden is getting impeached that they're gonna be turned off from voting against Donald Trump, and that's just bullshit. They listen before any impeachment in history. They had the evidence and the fucking crime that person committed, the high crime or misdemeanor that person committed. We knew Donald Trump on January the 6th tried to overthrow the election. We knew that Donald Trump, when he got his first impeachment, had a phone call with Zelensky. We knew that Richard Nixon, when he got impeached, he had raided the Democrat convention or whatever the hell that was, the crimes was there. And we knew when Bill Clinton got impeached, we know what happened there. So we had the evidence and the crime way before they started looking for evidence. With this impeachment, not one piece of evidence have been presented yet, which is crazy.
Oh, that wasn't what I was talking about. I was saying how that happened in the Congress today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, and then those professors that they had, that was the stupidest hearing I ever seen in my life. It was just pretty stupid.
The college professors, yeah.
Yes. I mean, what's wrong with these Republicans thinking that college professors are messing them up? They're there to work for the people. Not those professors and not those people on the college that want them to not have a freedom of speech.
Are you talking about that Harvard president? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I know that. Yeah. Go ahead.
What did they do to the Congress for them to have to deal with this?
They didn't blindly support Israel, and that president actually said what was the truth, and they accused her of plagiarism, and they accused her of anti-Semitic rhetoric. And when they went back and did the research, they didn't find any of that. The only thing that they found is that she left out some damn parentheses and quotation marks in her dissertations, so she wasn't guilty of anything. What she is a victim of is a right-wing hit job, just like they always do on black people, especially ones in prominent positions.
Oh, so now let me get back to Trump and Biden. Now, a group of Caucasian people are upset with Biden because he moved the convention to Carolina. Those are unhappy. Then you got a group of people with Trump that keep saying, a lot of black men gonna vote for Trump. And then you got Cornel West in the middle, and after Cornel West was with Travis Smiley with the Poor People Campaign. Remember him?
Yeah.
In the Poor People Campaign and they traveled around the country, but the poor people, and they wrote a book, and none of the poor people got any money from it. So all of this stuff that we're looking at you gotta watch it closely, because and then those politicians that was not for Israel, they're trying to find people to remove them with. Big money packs. So they're going to put money in so they won't come back to Congress. So if we move some of those people out the way, maybe America could work. We don't need those people up there paying people in Congress to be in the situations they're in. We just need the people we voted for to be there, and no income coming from no place except the paycheck that they get. And once you stop that, the Democrats and the Republicans, both sides, they both two are the same, as I say.
I agree.
And then when it comes to Israel, they don't want nobody to say nothing. No, you got to be anti-Semitic. They teach you to hate people just because of your opinion. But with their opinion, you don't have nothing to say. The media is scared to say anything. The White House is scared to say anything. Except that lady that was from Palestine, that when she spoke when her son and his two friends got hurt. And she said exactly what was wrong. So you watch the Congress, you will see what make America work. But they not working. America will not work. And half of them up there, half of them up there were slaves to your ancestors. Half of their parents owned them. What makes you think they're gonna change some law? I'm still waiting for the John Lewis bill to go through, but they don't even mention that no more. They mean everything else except in this country to do for the people in this country. But that's why they mad with Joe. And then those on the Trump side scared that if he became president, which he won't, if he became president, he's gonna put them in jail and do the same.
Wait a minute. So why do you think Donald Trump ain't gonna be president?
Because he's not. Because he's a criminal, and his day has come for him to get caught for all the things that he's done.
So you don't think there's a possibility that he can win?
No, there's no possibility that he can win. I don't care what nobody say. He can win himself in prison if they'll wake up and do it. But he will go down in history as the first Caucasian man to go to prison.
But you do realize even if he convicted and charged, he could still run for president, right?
When they get through with him, he ain't gonna be able to run for nothing. Except that
I think he won't be able to vote, but he can still run for president.
In that case, they're gonna have to change the law for anybody that can run for president that's in prison. Shouldn't they? Yep. That'll set a precedent for anybody that want to run for president. They can run out of prison, just like if he go to prison, he can be president. So I get people get nervous. Like, oh, he's not going to jail. It's just like Giuliani. All of these.
Oh yeah, I meant to talk about Giuliani behind.
Yes, but what they did to them two ladies in Georgia. So now he gonna act like he crazy or halfway broke, but it ain't not gonna work either. So that's my opinion and what I think.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Giuliani, guys. Rudy Giuliani is a fucking embarrassment to America. He's an embarrassment to he's just a damn embarrassment. Listen, today it came out the jury deliberated on the defamation trial, and this article on the screen showing you the highlights. It says today is the fourth day of the Rudy Giuliani civil defamation trial related to the false claims he made about the former election workers in Georgia. A judge ruled this year that Giuliani, the former New York City mayor, a longtime ally of former President Donald Trump, defamed Rudy Freeman and her daughter, Wandrea Shea Moss, and basically accusing them of election fraud. The plaintiff's lawyer asked the jury today to award them $24 million each for Giuliani's defamatory statements. Witness Ashley Humphreys, a Northwestern University professor and expert in social media, testified yesterday that based on her analysis, it would cost Freeman and Moss $17.8 million to $47.8 million to fix their reputations. In a reversal, Giuliani will not take the stand today. His lawyer said, meaning the trial went straight into closing arguments. After both sides concluded their arguments, the U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell dismissed the jury in the early afternoon to begin deliberating about the amount of damages that Giuliani owes the plaintiff. The jury later went home for the evening with the deliberation scheduling to resume for 9:00 a.m. What this means, guys, is this is one story that ABC pushed. This is one story that Sarge pushed. This is one story that Fox News pushed. This is one story that social media pushed about these black women from Georgia hiding ballots up under the table, and they saying that the election was stolen based on Rudy Freeman and Shea Moss. It was a lie, and Giuliani is showing you that it was a lie because he's guilty of defaming these women, and now they made these two black poll workers basically millionaires if the decision goes their ways. So they went from somebody working in a mall, and I forgot what Shea Moss did, but her job was a regular job, like a normal 9 to 5. But now they went from being who they are, and they're gonna own Rudy Giuliani's apartment. Rudy Giuliani gonna have to pay these women. And they're asking for $24 million apiece. So I'm glad for them. I am glad that the right wing can defame a person in such a way that they actually come up financially. And I'm happy if the decision go their way for $24 million apiece. They deserve it because they had people barging in their house. They had Kanye West's that black lady lying to them, threatening them. These ladies' life was at risk. And this is what the fucking right wing of America did whenever they attack these people trying to convince dummies that the election was stolen. So Giuliani is a piece of shit, and everybody that agreed with this whole narrative about the election being stolen in Georgia, and these two were the ones that was racist. It was a racist attack because Giuliani said that when this mama passed her daughter a fucking gum mint or whatever the fuck, Giuliani said that it was passing crack cocaine back and forth in the polling place. That is a racist attack on these women, and I really hope that they slam the damn book at Rudy Giuliani and sue his ass for everything that he got for getting on TV, farting on Jenna Ellis, having that hair dye come down beside his head, lying on these women every step of the way, and just ruining these people's lives. Now, here's the thing that I'm not clear on. They sued Giuliani, and they've got other people wrapped up in this too, like Newsmax and all that kind of stuff, right? But they didn't go after Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is still out there on Truth Social saying that Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss stole the election. So I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they didn't go after him, or if they're going to go after him. Go ahead.
Well, Tyrone, I think they were probably advised to put that Donald Trump, because when he started that, he was in the office of president.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure the federal government is going to settle with them later.
They should.
They want these other trials. They're going to settle with them later. But they want these trials, with Trump and stuff. So from what I was reading, the experts are saying that they think that they were asked by, so y'all put your lawsuits on hold against Trump. Because the feds, they're going to have to settle that. Because he was in the office of president. That was a government office. So they're going to settle that. But one thing that I have to correct you on, they're not going to be millionaires. They already are.
Uh-oh.
Their lawyers settled with Fox News. They settled with Newsmax.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
One of those other far right. So they done been settled with them and got their cash. Giuliani is the next up. Now he don't have it. We know that, but that's not the point. You sue his jaws off, and they can able to get whatever it is. And Giuliani already admitted during the pre-trial hearing and stuff that yes, he lied on them. So this is a done deal. But these women, they're already millionaires because they've already settled with some of these other entities. And once the Donald Trump thing is done, and however that's going to work out with his trials, the federal government, they're going to settle with them as well, because they can sue him personally, and I'm sure they will. But as far as when this mess started, he was the president. So that was a federal government job as the president. So the Fed's going to settle with them and give them a pile of money. And from what the experts are saying, they probably told them to hold off. And I get it. It's strategy, because he's being tried for a lot of different things. So it's strategy. Y'all hold off on Trump. They're going to settle the lawsuit on that end, and then they can sue him. Now, Trump got some money. So they sue him personally along with the settlement for the Fed. But these women are already billionaires.
That is
They're
great.
already millionaires.
I'm glad to hear that, because they did not deserve that.
They are deserving of every dime. And then Giuliani, a couple of days ago, people caught him coming out of one of the courtrooms or something, and they asked him about whether or not he was going to be testifying, because this is the personal lawsuit against him, and whether he said some kind of something, and he said, well, he done went back to, after he has already admitted that he lied on them, and then he has reverted back to, well, they did do this. And the reporters were saying, but you don't have any evidence. He said, yes, I do, and it's all going to come out. That's all. Well, why you should have let it come out if you had it. So, yeah, Giuliani is just one of many that is being sued from Shay Moss and Ruby. He's just one in the mix. They got other lawsuits. And what I like about this is the state of Georgia is paying for their lawyers, as they should. Because they were working for the state of Georgia, so they're paying for their lawyers, as they should. And these women are racking up bags, as they should.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad they
even had to move. They even had to move, and because it got so bad, and then wherever it was, they had to move with families. I think it was Shay. If she's the youngest one, she had went because you still got to work, so they had to leave their jobs and everything and move. So she had applied for a job wherever they were, and the person who was interviewing her had pulled out some information talking about, aren't you one of those women that helped to steal the election? This is why they're suing.
Wow.
And people try to make out like they don't understand. And of course she didn't get that job. So this is why they're suing. They are entitled to every bag, every penny. Giuliani ain't got it, but you have his lawyers to collect his drones. If you have your lawyers collect his drones, if you have to. Trump got a few dollars. So when they do their personal lawsuit against him, and then the feds settle with them, Trump got a few dollars, so they can collect on that. Get every penny that you can. That was deplorable that went on. And then when I hear like black people who were Trumpers was going along with this stuff, was going along with it. Giuliani talking, it looked like they was passing crack. It looked like they was passing heroin. He even had to take it racist as stereotype type bullshit. So no, Giuliani is getting everything that he deserves. And the thing is, you did all of that, and Trump won't even give you any money to help you pay your bills. That's the sad part. He won't even share the money with you that he's selling prayer cloths. He won't even give you any money to help you pay your bills. And that's the stupid part. And it bothered me to hear black people talking about the ones who are Trumpers, talking about and helping to smear those two women. Yes, they are deserving of every dime that they have gotten and the rest of the dimes that they gonna get.
Yeah.
For all of that.
Oh yeah. I'm glad. I am so glad for these people, and they showed their ass. I know it was sad day in the January 6th hearing, but they was professional. They really really showed people what was going on down there in Georgia through their emotions and through the way they displayed themselves like brave women and came up there and was courageous. I mean, I really appreciate it, and I hope, and I don't care. I know people probably gonna say no, they don't need to do that. I hope they flex afterwards, and I hope they talk junk afterwards.
I do too.
I just hope they just talk junk about, now we rich. Where's these people that came to my house? They deserve it. So Giuliani is a piece of crap. And what gets me is that he was the mayor of New York one time. And not only that, he was a prosecutor or something like that, a lawyer or something. These are the people.
They went after the mafia. He was a shit lawyer.
So you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself, did he change overnight, or is this who he always was?
That's who he always was.
It had to be. So who's running this country, and who's in this justice system? If even a third of them is like Giuliani, these people are corrupt as shit. Ain't no telling what he did in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this right here, this whole 9/11 thing.
All kind of scandal.
Yeah,
this whole scandal in New York.
This whole mayor of 9/11 thing, I always knew that he used 9/11 just so he could have a talking point. Every time he get on any show, every time he showed up anywhere, he was just using 9/11 just to say, I was the mayor at 9/11 and I was down at the tower and I did this and I did that. And that was just bullshit to use that tragedy that happened to America to try to bolster his popularity. I always thought that was bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Giuliani always has scandal. You get some of these New Yorkers, Giuliani get to tell you who's living in New York during them years. They will tell you Giuliani stayed with scandal. I remember that whole mess went on with when he had announced to his wife in the media that he was getting a divorce from her, and he married his cousin. Well, y'all probably don't remember. We heard about that. He married his cousin. Giuliani stayed with scandal because he's a no good filth. He always was. And people just seen it worldwide. He was always filth.
And we can hear what you got going on, cuz.
I'm good.
I'm saying your mic is making noise though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and did you hear Joe Biden still a couple of days ago was still trying to talk about? He saw them pictures of those the babies, the babies with the head thing. You still saying that, Joe Biden? When news media in Israel came out and said that wasn't true, why are you still saying that? Is it senility, or are you not keeping up with that was proven that was not true?
Well, look, I went and I went and pulled this up. I don't know if y'all can see it on the TV or not, but this video is when Rudy Giuliani got caught overseas, and he thought he was with a teenage girl, and he laid on the bed, and he reached in his pants. This was while Trump was president, and getting ready to pull out his mess in front of the girl, and they had to come in and stop the show because they were like, "Oh, wait," you know. But this dirty, disgusting piece of crap, and even after this right here, he's getting sued by his aide for sexual harassment and forcing her to do things. I mean, these people are just filthy. They nasty. I don't know what the hell. And what pisses me off so much about this right here is because they always accusing the black community of all of these vile things, all of this criminality. All you have to do is follow the rules. All you have to do is live right, and you'll be successful. All that bullshit that they used to say to us about our community, these people are guilty of every ounce of criticism that they've thrown towards us. You can see that when you look at white America right now, when you look at Fox News, when you look at all of these crooks and politicians that are in office look at George Santos. George Santos is a criminal, and they put him in fucking the house, and they didn't give a shit. They don't give a shit about none of those criminals. Look at Joe Biden's son. I know that he's not guilty of a whole lot of big crimes or whatever the fuck, but you know, you can see that he was using the system to his damn benefit. This is white America doing the shit that they accuse us of, and then whenever they do it, nobody ain't supposed to say shit, or it ain't supposed to get counted out, or they not supposed to get characterized in that manner. It's just fucking pisses me off to see all of these people. Look at Jenna Ellis. Look at that damn Kraken lady. Look at all of those people in Georgia that Ken Cheeseborough, he's a fucking attorney. John Eastman, he's an attorney. All of these lawyers, all of these rich motherfucking politicians that are breaking law after law after law after law, and they spend years demonizing our community about the criminality in our community. It just pisses me off to see how they're just trying to get Trump a slap on the wrist or trying to play it off. It's mad, and when they slam the book at us, you know, it's just crazy to me.
I agree, but we have to see. I don't know. It's just this awful time, and I don't see why a lot of people don't get it. This is awful time. We just have to. But I agree with Maeve a little bit on whether Donald Trump will become president again.
Mm-hmm.
First, let me say, he's not going to jail. I don't think he's going to go to jail. If he's convicted of some of these things, I think they will probably do a house arrest or put him on a house arrest at Mar-a-Lago or something like that. But I don't think he's going to actually see the inside of a prison, because you got to look at it can be done with the Secret Service. They could make that happen, but I don't think so. The most they will probably do is some type of house arrest. Will he be president again? If the election was held within the next 6 months, yes. But since it's a little further out, I have to be honest. I don't think so. I don't think so. I could be living in La La Land, but I don't think so. I don't think so. But if the election was held within the next 6 months, yes, I think so. But whatever, there is time enough to. There's not a lot of time, but there's enough to kind of turn things around just a little bit. Joe Biden got to get from being bogged down, and I can't stand him. He is going to have to get from being bogged down up under this Israeli-Gaza slaughter war. He's going to have to come up from that.
Well, the Democrats is okay. So when you look at the Republicans, you can see this senator and that senator on Fox News all the time. You can see this senator or that Republican on the radio all the time. You can see them on Newsmax. You can see them anywhere on Twitter. You can see them everywhere promoting their agenda. You do not see that from the Democrats. I don't see the Democrats no damn where. Because, and I know we're trying to put the burden on Joe Biden, but it's not only on Joe Biden. If they want a strategy of winning, you got to have those Democrats out there promoting this message, promoting the good things, promoting the achievements, and I don't see that nowhere. Not enough. I don't see no advertisements. I don't see shit.
Tyrone, they still playing politics like it's 1980 or 1990. They still playing politics how they did back in the day. But this is a new day. Have y'all not noticed that the party on the other side of the aisle aren't playing by any rules at all?
And one more thing. One of the things that the Democrats is doing, listen, one of the things that the Democrats is doing is not talking about Trump committing crimes. They do not talk about 91 counts that this dude have. They don't talk about none of the damn charges in Georgia. They need to be out there on every show that they can, telling the American people what he's guilty of and how he violated the law and how he violated the Constitution. And that is not the way American politicians or presidents should be acting. We don't hear that shit. The hell, if we didn't go dig it up ourselves, the indictments, hell, we wouldn't even damn know.
They need to be talking about that. And what else they need to be talking about is the people that they're throwing out there, who he's gonna, if he's reelected, who he's gonna put in his
Yep. All them races. Yep.
They need to be highlighting that stuff. They need to break down Steve Bannon, some of them other ones, break down what they're about, break down the different things that they're talking about, their philosophies, the this, that, the mission statements, all of that. But they're not doing that. They're still playing, and they still with that Michelle Obama. They go low. They go low. We go high.
Right.
Do that. These people are not playing by the same set of rules. They haven't been for a long time. That's why the handful of the Republicans that were still playing old style politics are leaving. Mitt Romney out here is talking about, I can't do this no more. And what's the lady, the one who they got her out of office? I hope she does run. I don't know what she calls. She's fair, but they sit up there talking about these people are playing politics.
Oh, Liz Cheney.
They don't care. Yeah, Liz
I seen her sitting up on MSNBC the other day. I was like, what the fuck? He's selling a book. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But the Democrats aren't taking. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to. They still playing politics like the people did back in 1980, and they're not. These other people are doing something totally different, and they're not playing by any rules. They're breaking all the laws. They're saying whatever it is they want to say, and they're good at it. And they got the people's ear. And y'all sitting over there, acting like this might be 1976. Or something, and you still going along with that. You got to do something different. That's why, and Barack he played politics like how they did. But I will have to say what he did was different. He started talking about hope, and he did something with his campaign that a lot of people had never seen before. That's why he won with landslide, and that's why he won 2 terms. The Democrats need to take note of that and try to parlay that into something. And another thing that they need to do, they keep saying they don't fight for different policies and different things. Instead of Biden doing executive orders and stuff like the family leave and the child tax credit,
right?
And they need to get out there and say we gonna save Social Security. They need to get out there and fight for that stuff.
They need to be Social Security commercials all over the place because
all over the place.
Yeah, because if old people don't do anything, they will carry their ass to the damn polls now.
Yes, they will. And he needs to be out. They need to be out there championing that. They need to be out there talking about the child tax credit. This is what we're gonna fight for. Find a way to executive order that thing. Because these are the policies and the things and
that student loan repayment that the Republicans held up. He could executive order that.
A lot of different things. And see, this is the thing. These are the policies that 80-90% of all Americans are for. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. These are very popular things that the people want. Get out there and champion that stuff and fight for that stuff. And they can get out here and champion for the women as far as it comes for abortion and different things like that. But they're not. They're not doing that. And these are policies that the American people, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, that they support these policies.
And that one kills me. That abortion kills me. They literally took a right away from Americans, and these people aren't out there screaming and yelling about how they took away rights from Americans. I don't get that one. I do not get that one.
And in certain one of these red states, I think was it Ohio or somebody, they solidified the vote for abortion. It's wildly popular. American people support that. And the things that all the American people support, you could get these people on board. But then you're not. Then when people say, then they say, well, I tried. And Joe Biden, well, I tried, but the Congress is that. Get out there and fight. I know you old, but get out there and fight. These are wildly popular policies that all the American people want. And you could get the people on the side.
Even with his economy.
Fight for this stuff.
Even with his economy is doing good, it's outperforming Trump's by, I don't know, double digits or maybe even triple. But they're not even talking about that. I mean, it's ridiculous how they just sitting on their hands and not even fighting back. They're letting the Republican take control of the narrative.
And inflation is high right now. But you could get out here and say you're going to fight against the companies that have these inflated prices. We know why the prices became inflated. COVID, and they took advantage of that. But get out here and act like you're going and fight for a universal health care, which is wildly popular. That we're going to fix Obamacare and make it do what it do that some of these other countries have. American people, but when it comes down to it, we don't have the money for this. We don't have the money for that. But you got money to send to Israel. You got money to keep loaning to the Ukraine. You got money. You can print up this money for these other countries in these wars. And if the Republicans want money so much for Border Patrol and for that, give it to them. And say, give it to them. We with y'all on this. Give it to them. They need to hire more judges and things like that so they can have more of those cases and stuff for those who are trying to apply for citizenship. It's a whole bunch of stuff that they need to do as far as that with Border Patrol. Give them the goddamn money. Don't give Israel
Right.
Put that money towards Border Patrol and shut them up. That's what you do. You give that money to them for the Border Patrol. Okay, there you go. We need more judges. We need to hire more officers. We need to have to do this. Give it to them. And they can shut the hell up. And they can't, but they're not fighting for the Border Patrol and for the this and that. And this give them the money. The money you were going to give Israel, give them that. And I just don't understand. It's like, what century are y'all, what decade is the Democratic Party are y'all living in? You could sidestep certain things, and there's another thing that they could do that would shut them up. I'm not going to say, because I'm going to be called one of the phobics, but not saying do not fight for these people's rights, that everybody deserves rights, but quiet it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You understand? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, cause I mean, listen, there ain't nobody against nobody, but when something is damaging you probably need to not put it out front like that. You know, you can support them quietly and yeah.
They right to do it quiet, but you quiet that down a little bit. You got people coming in.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say it. I don't see how politicians can get up there and fight for a man versus a woman in sports. That's wrong. Who is this unknown caller here?
But they won't.
Yeah, hey guys.
What's up, Joe?
Yeah, think of it like this, all right? A couple of things, all right? First is, you know, one of the tenets of Sun Tzu is when your opponents are making a mistake, don't stop them. They're burning through money, big time. Trump is burning through money, man. All these court cases he has to defend against, he is burning through it. So we haven't even reached. You know,
but Joe, that's not damaging him.
Yeah.
That's not damaging Trump.
Not right now. Not right now. Mm-hmm. But remember, the Democrats aren't burning through money. You know, they're waiting. Once the onslaught starts, and it's going to be real interesting. To respond to Jermaine, Trump has never increased his base, bro. He has never. In fact, his base is diminishing. His rallies are smaller than ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can't win unless you increase your base. You got to win over the moderates and the centrists in the middle, and he ain't doing that. And the other thing is, there's a whole bunch of court cases, about gerrymandering and getting them to draw up new congressional lines, you know, and making new black congressional districts.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you guys are following that, but yeah. So there's a lot of moving parts. And then, like I said to Jermaine, the Koch brothers had threw their money behind Nikki Haley, not Trump.
Wow.
So a lot of the big donors aren't even going his way, man. I mean, you gotta stay up on this stuff. That's big. The Koch brothers endorsing Nikki Haley. You know, they're basically saying, nah, this horse has run its course, man. It's time to move on. And literally, that's what they said. The one that's alive said, you know, he's run his course. He had a chance. It's time to move on to something else. So there's a whole lot of moving parts that are coalescing here and coming to a nexus point. And so when it comes to that point, it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, I could be wrong. You know, this is just a speculation on my part. But from a strategy point of view, the Republicans are beating themselves up pretty damn well. I mean, Chris Christie is doing a really good job of making the Democratic argument. I mean, I'm just shocked to hear it come from him. You know, and sooner or later, these guys are going to have to realize if you're gonna run against them, you're going to have to go up against them. You can't keep not referring to him and thinking that you're going to get your point across. Sooner or later, you got to address the elephant in the room. So let it happen. Let it play out. And just be calm. Be patient. Because the real fight hasn't started just yet. So you just have to be patient, wait out. And by the way, you know, I was going to tell ABC I might call into his drag queen conspiracy hour on Saturday, you know, because he seems to be, you know, just, I don't know, fixed on gays for some reason. So I'm thinking that maybe he's got a dress on when he's doing his show, and we're going to rename it the Drag Queen Conspiracy Hour. So I might call in and give him a little love, so to speak. But anyway, I'll mute myself because I got a lot of noise here.
That's fine. I appreciate that.
Excellent comments. And Tyrone, I agree with him because a couple of governors has come out and they endorsing Nikki Haley. I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
But you have to look at what's going on. Like I just got finished saying, I don't think that Trump will. It's going to get reelection. I don't think so because we still have enough. Biden got to get from being bogged down. I mean, he can't do nothing about his skeletal look. He can't do nothing about that because that's just the way he looks. But
he's not a good speaker either. Neither he nor Kamala are really exciting speakers. I mean, there's just no way around that. That's
Joe Biden used to be a good speaker in his youth, but now he's just old. That's his age, man. It really is, and that's what people see. What you just pointed out is what people see. His age.
Because when he was sitting next to Zelensky, when Zelensky came to beg for more money, and they were talking and they shook hands, and when Joe Biden sat back to cross his legs, I was like, go ahead, Joe. Get it crossed, Joe. Get it crossed. And he could barely get it moved. He could barely move it. I mean, that's what people, if they seeing that.
And like I said, if he win again, I'm all for a Biden administration and all that kind of stuff. But it's too tough right now. It's too risky to put him up there looking like that, acting like that, and being in that condition to ask Americans to choose him. I told y'all if Ron DeSantis got in the damn race, he would beat Joe Biden easily, and that's all because of his youthfulness.
What?
He would. He would beat. So? I know he would.
America popular in his own state. Man.
Americans would vote for Ron DeSantis based off of his age. I guarantee it.
Not now.
You talk about Booger DeSantis.
Okay, well, I'll take back that because he done made some mistakes. But any youthful person get in there and run against Joe Biden, they'll probably beat him.
Well, it's gonna be a lot's gonna depend on a lot's gonna depend on who he chooses for his vice president too. If he chooses somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene to be his vice president, he basically punched himself in the ball. You know, or Carrie Lake. Are you serious? You know.
I hope he does. But I don't know. People is looking at Joe, and it's just painful. But it's nothing we can do about that. Yes, because people are seeing, okay, Kamala Harris is going to be president. That's not necessarily so, but I'll take her, you know?
Well, yeah, even if she run, I mean, there's a lot of. She's been trashed so much that people probably don't even vote for her.
No, what I mean by Kamala Harris will probably be president, because she's his vice president. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Mm. So, but I go with that. I don't care much for Kamala, but she's qualified enough, and if she has a good cabinet and stuff around her, that she can get the job done for the next 4 years. I'm okay. I would be okay with that. But that's what I'm looking at when I see Joe Biden. I see a Kamala Harris presidency on the horizon. If he win again, I'm sorry, that's terrible to say, but that's what I'm seeing is a Kamala Harris presidency on the horizon.
And that's part of what everybody else sees too.
Yeah, that's what you see, and that's okay with me. Just so long as Kamala can make it through 4 years with a great cabinet and they do whatever that they need to do. But I'm serious. That's what I see is a Kamala Harris. Because, I mean, Joe could barely get that leg crossed, and I was going, cross it, Joe. Take your hand and lift it on over, Joe. And it's just, and I hate, because I'm not an ageist. Because I look at Bernie Sanders be getting it, and he older than Biden. He be getting it, so it's not ageist. It's not being ageist. Joe Biden just looks extra old. He does. He just looks extra old.
Some people age quicker than others, and I think Joe Biden is one of them people that is aging pretty fast. You know.
Yeah, he's aging older. Because I think Mitt Romney, when I saw they said how old Mitt Romney was, 70 something, I was shocked. I didn't know Mitt Romney was that old. But Joe Biden just looked real old. And he can barely move, you know, he's talking all slow and people see that. But Donald Trump look a fool. So I mean, and he most of the times he doesn't even know who's the president. So he got issues going on too. And then everything out of his mouth is a lie. That is just pretty pathetic. That this is what we got. But I as much as I don't like Joe Biden, I would have to go with Joe Biden because Trump is looking pretty old. He's orange, and he has cognitive issues himself. And he's sitting there trying to say he was doing that on purpose. Who was fake cognitive issues? Who was his people told him to do that? Talking about he did it on purpose. He keeps saying Barack because Barack is the one that's really running the country. Shut up. I don't know. We just got a mess, Tyrone. I can't believe this is where we are. Because where we were before the election came up in 2020, then here we are in 2023. Look at we right back here between these two.
I thought we was done.
I thought we were done with them. I thought say Joe will go ahead on out, get a statue or something like that. And here we are back with these two. And no, Ron DeSantis, he's not even going to win the primary. He's not going to get the nomination.
No, he been messing up. he been messing up. Joe is right. You know, I remember seeing him screw up.
Yeah, that's done. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Christie. A lot of his politics and stuff, I would have to really get into him.
Well, you know, just thinking about it, Chris Christie would make a way better president than Donald Trump. Even though he's a Republican and, you know, he was all anti-Obama and said all that crazy shit against Obama, too.
Anybody, you know what? I would go with Nikki Haley before I would fool with Trump. And I can't stand her.
I can't stand her either.
But I would take her. I hope she gets the nomination other than Trump. I hope she gets the nomination. I don't care. I hope any of them get the nomination. Because Trump is selling prayer claws.
Well, this conversation got to make you ask: is out of the American population and the voting population, who is these people supporting Donald Trump? Who is these people keeping Donald Trump's poll numbers up? Who is these people that are donating to him? And you got to look at America at this point.
Yeah, you got to look at the people. And they have the people America is showing the world that we got a lot of dumb people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people say they're going to sit out. They're going to sit out the election. No. Don't sit the election out. Don't do that. I know y'all upset. And that's why let me spray somebody here for a minute. Sean King. Have you been following him on
you remember a while back you mentioned how he was posting all that graphic stuff, and I haven't seen his stuff since then.
Well, he's still posting. He went to Qatar. They paid for him to go over there, and he said to help with the war. I don't know what Sean King could do, but I don't think it went the way he wanted because he said it was a horrible trip. People was like, "Good luck, Sean. Good luck. Sean King can't help do nothing with that slaughter war that's going on." But he posted last week. I can read it to you. He posted last week, and them people tore him a new asshole. That's why I said this dude is grifted. He's grifted. He got a grift. I'm gonna tell you what this fool said last week. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna read to you what this fool said last week. And that's why I said, okay, a lot of people was like, okay, he finally showed the grift. And that's dangerous because you have a lot of young people and a lot of people this is their first time dealing in advocacy. So,
well, whenever he's advocating for black people, he sounds like he's on point, and he really sounds genuine and all that kind of stuff. And that's probably what got a lot of these people behind him, is because his advocacy for black people getting treated wrong in America. But he is grifting.
Yeah, but he grifted, and a lot of people. This is their first time with advocacy. Wait a minute, let me find it. I'm gonna read you what this fool said. Hold on. And activity comments. Let me see if I can find it. And I was like, okay. Okay, here it is. He said, this is some regular stuff with a lot of young people. He said, Sean King at Joe Biden will not win, period. Democrats can try to replace him if they want, but Biden will lose if he's the nominee. And after the genocide he has overseen, he deserves to lose. That I'm 44 years old, and I have voted in every presidential election of my life for the Democrats. But if Joe Biden is the nominee, I could never and would never vote for him, and nothing can change that. I don't care if he shouts out Kwanzaa or gets Obama to do his best for him. No matter what Biden does, from this point on forward, the atrocities he has overseen means not only that I am out, but I pledge to work directly against him, highlighting every war crime and atrocity he has overseen. Genocide Joe is up against a man that has nearly 100 criminal charges, but the majority of the country is now saying, we want Trump. How bad Biden is. Beyond simply signing off, so this is how bad Joe Biden is. And the people, he has openly called himself a Zionist. He has openly said Israel has no red lines that can be crossed, and Israel has taken full advantage of that. They have committed thousands of war crimes, tens of thousands. As America struggles with student loan debt, the soaring cost of health care, we deal with the income inequality and outrageous interest rates, unchecked police violence, and so much more. He wants to send $10 billion more to fund endless genocide and war crimes. You couldn't pay me or we to support him. And let me bust a myth and teach you about democracy. Okay, see this shit right. This is right here. Not voting for Biden is not the same as a vote for Trump. Stop saying that foolishness. A vote for Trump is a vote for Trump. That's how votes work. I lost my vote. Votes of millions of Muslims, average Americans, young people, black people, and peace-loving people from all races. This is his fault. I love Palestinian people too much to betray them to support a man that has supported their slaughter. We will have to find millions of votes somewhere else, or Democrats can rush in a new candidate. That's on him. Okay, so then the people start saying then, first of all, that's a lie. That a vote for someone else is not a vote for Trump. That's a lie. And I have been watching a lot of the things that he was saying. He has been tearing up the Democratic Party, and there's nothing wrong with that. They need to be tore up on a lot of different things. But then he showed his grift. And like people were saying, you lost your mind if you supporting Trump. And people's like, I'm sorry, this post is so irresponsible to encourage people to not vote, knowing what the alternative is. Your disdain may be warranted, but to encourage folks not to vote is not it. You're too smart for that. And then this comment, this post is reckless. Or was your activism for Palestinian people always about something else political? You're basically telling the American people to completely throw away our country. I've been following your page recently only because I support the freedom and the right to life for the people of Palestine. I've seen your post pre-Gaza war against the Democratic Party. Some of the criticism I agree with, but now all of this activism you're currently playing with screams agenda. like your BLM activism was partly grift. Shame on you, Sean. I was hoping you changed. After reading this, I question was your activism for the Palestinians true or grift? That was my post back to him, and he deleted that shit. But anyway, he deleted. I just kept it. I kept it written down after it got deleted. Yes, I question anybody that's telling you, and the people was like, you know what this country is facing. The Democrats deserve everything that all of the criticism and things that you give them. But how you gonna get up on a platform where you got 2-3 million new subscribers? That is because you posted a lot of the information on Palestine. Is this about Palestine or is this about the election? What is this about? Is this about advocacy or is this about the election? Is this about the right to life for people who deserve a right to life, or is this about MAGA? Are you sitting up here supporting MAGA? What is this about? Why are we talking about the election? You're supposed to be talking about advocacy for the Palestinians. And when people start doing that, I question their grift, and I will always question, is this a grift or is this true advocacy? And the only reason I was following him, because you could get, I had to, every once in a while, I have to close out the page because there's too much death and destruction. I don't want to see that coming up and down my feed on IG. But when you start posting stuff like that and telling people, don't believe people when they say if a vote for somebody else is a vote for Trump. That's a lie. If you vote for somebody else, you vote for somebody else. You all need to start thinking about other people. Why are you telling people how to vote? This is supposed to. Why are we talking about telling people how to vote? And it did my heart good to see people tearing his ass up over that. We're over here talking about advocacy. We're over here talking about different things that we could boycott to try to help the advocacy. Why are you over here telling people who to vote for? And that's what I trust. Is this advocacy or is this a grift? And MAGA is all, you can always tell MAGA, and then you can tell the Russian bots all mixed up in that. Is this true advocacy or is this something else?
Well, yeah, I mean, from what you read there, Sean King, I mean, I always had questions about that guy. First of all, and I'm being totally honest, whether he's white or whatever, I don't know. I really don't. I think that in this country, white people feel like they can do and grift however they want to. Whatever's making them money is what they're continuing to do. But beyond that, about this post, whenever he started saying that Biden is responsible for Palestine, I mean, soon as he said that, he started going off the rail. And then he went on to blame Biden for the conditions and all that kind of stuff. Come on. That country is its own country with its own leadership and all of that kind of stuff. It does not involve American politics, period. It just don't involve American politics. So there's no way in the world you should say, unless the policies of this country change, my vote in America is going to be a certain way. That is just stupid to me. He's an idiot. Yeah.
Because our money and American weaponry is helping this war. And the money that we give to Israel is helping. And all them weapons and weaponry, it is. But it's not just America. It's not all. It's the majority of all the countries in the West. And when you're over there saying that America dropped these bombs and killed 20, 30, 40 children, look what America did.
Yes, yeah, I mean that's BS right there. That is some straight BS.
And yes, we are. Our tax dollars do help to fund this. But also, we do help, but it's not just America.
Why isn't he blaming those crazy ass Jews that are killing those Palestinians? Why ain't he pointing the finger at them?
He points the blame at us. He will not point the blame at Britain. He will not point the blame at Australia. yes, America probably could get a permanent ceasefire. I'm not saying that we're not playing a role in this. I'm not, because we're helping to fund it. But when you're putting all of the heavy lift on America, you know what you're also doing? You're putting targets on all of our backs.
And it came out. It came out. I think I learned last week that Netanyahu knew what the Hamas plans was before they actually conducted the attack, and he didn't do anything. And in addition to that, he was paying Hamas billions of dollars while they was in charge of Gaza and the West Bank. So Sean King just got it all fucked up, blaming America for that stuff.
They knew, they said they got information almost 2 years in advance and detailed information of what Hamas was planning. They did nothing. And I remember when the consulate, the people said that they had contacted them, I don't know, maybe a month or so, a couple of times, that they are planning something. And when that was brought to his attention after September, after they hit them, the terrorist attack, that he said that was just fake news. And we was like, well, why would the Egyptian consulate, or they people lie about talking to him? And they didn't lie, because the Israeli newspaper, I forget what newspaper, they came out and said, they came out with the receipts that Israel knew Hamas was going to attack them at least 2 years in advance. And they had it down. They even had everything that they did. They knew that at least 2 years in advance. And he's like, well, we'll deal with that after the war. Yeah, they knew. Then you have to ask the question why they didn't do anything.
Well, to me, like it's like I was saying, this is a strategy to commit genocide under the guise of war, and Netanyahu wanted it to be done. He was funding Hamas, and then Hamas gathered their weapons. Netanyahu knew about the attack, didn't do anything, let it happen. Now he got the excuse to go into Palestine and kill those Palestinians. And I keep having to say, I'm just going to say this, that I don't support Palestinian people. I don't know nothing about them people. I support people having the right to life and not being bombed indiscriminately and killed for no damn reason. That's what I support. But yeah, I think Sean King is full of shit with this.
I support them not living in a apartheid state.
Right.
I am against those settlements that keep pushing over in the West Bank, and they have pulled up speeches and things with Netanyahu saying he don't intend to give them. He never intended for a two-state solution. That was never part of the problem. Trump even said that he never wanted no peace. And then when they found out these old speeches and stuff, he never intended for that. He never intended to have no two-state solution. He said it out of his mouth many times, and the people that's in his administration, they said it out of their mouth, and they have funded Hamas for decades. They helped to fund them for decades when they ended up had the little shitty election, and they were voted in. They have funded them the entire time to keep to keep the discord, to keep the fighting, to keep this, so they can continue with them wars. They continue attacking and going back and forth, so they could keep denying them two-state, and they could continue to push them settlements through in the West Bank. Israel never had any intentions on allowing them people to have autonomy over their own self. They never intended to do that. It's all BS.
Yeah, and you can tell what they're about now that we have a death toll of 18,000, and 18,000 people are not Hamas. You know what they're doing. They're not killing Hamas. They're killing Palestinians. That's what they're doing.
Just killing. They're just indiscriminately killing. So the question, and I don't expect our media to ask the questions, but if they knew that this was going to happen, and they were warned a couple of months again in advance from Egypt, but they did nothing. Why? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory why. so that this can be done and they can take that land. They can get that land. That's really what this is about.
Well,
And,
they want their land and they want them dead.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they want their land and they want the white. See, it's confusing to me because the Jews went through the Holocaust, and you know that's a terrible thing, and that should never have happened to them. But how can they turn around and create another situation where these people are in a Holocaust and they're committing genocide against somebody else when they have a history of going through the same thing that they're committing to the Palestinians?
I don't know. When you look at it, it's some of the antics and the things that they're doing. When they kidnapped that big group of men, and they had them stripped down, and they had like a ditch or something, or crater. Mm. They had them, and they had like the dump trucks, like they were gonna fill them in. That's some. I have to say the word allegedly. It's not allegedly. We saw with our own eyes, but allegedly, that allegedly looks like. That looks like some Nazi shit right there.
Yeah.
That looks like Nazi stuff.
Yeah, and I just got through scrolling Sean King page. Like how could Sean King get away with posting all that graphic stuff? Is that okay?
He keeps saying that I have to tune it out, but he keeps saying that he's constantly being threatened with his page being taken down, but they won't. They haven't taken it down. I'm surprised that he's been able to do that for as long as he has. I don't have a problem with him posting that because people need to see the atrocities. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy that they allow his page, whatever that is he's doing. I'm happy that the page is allowed to still exist because you can. A lot of the people that's where they. And there's a couple of other pages, Free Palestine and this and that are posted, but he is away. He's been able to get away with posting some most gruesome things.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Still allowing it.
I couldn't do it. Them little babies and all that kind of stuff. That's just too much for me there.
Because people need to see the atrocities, and like the IDF, the soldiers that are in the IDF, they're all over TikTok. Posting, and I get. See, this is why I don't understand. This is why the military don't want. You speak to this, Tyrone. They don't want active military people using social media, and I don't understand why they won't rein in their soldiers, because they're all over TikTok posting stuff where, like, they're on the West Bank and they're going into these people's businesses and tearing up their stuff and burning up their stuff.
So the soldiers are posting that.
Yeah, all over TikTok and some of these things. And so they went into one area where they flattened this apartment building. And one of the guys went in, he found a ring. And he said, I'm going to get this to my girlfriend. And one of them, they had flattened these people's homes. And they had...
See, that's war crimes.
Like tennis shoes, stealing tennis shoes and sweatshirts. And I thought this is why the military don't like active...
Yeah, I just read war crimes for Jermaine. I just read war crimes on Jermaine. Now I'm not gonna say those soldiers was committing war crimes, but it's pretty close to it. What they was doing there. They're not supposed to be doing that.
Because that's the kind of. But that's the kind. I don't have to say allegedly for this. When the Nazis was running through and doing what they were doing to them, they were sieging their things, stealing their things, and taking their stuff. That's what that looks like. That's what y'all look like. That looks like Nazi stuff y'all doing over there, taking these people's things and destroying their things. And the one they took all the tennis shoes and sweatshirts and stuff. That's Nazi stuff. They did that to your ancestors, and y'all out here making fun about it on TikTok. And Tyrone, I'll ask you. Doesn't the military discourage?
Well, the United States military wouldn't allow nothing like that.
No, because I don't understand why they allow them to get away with it. And like they showed some of the IDF soldiers, they were someplace in the West Bank, and they had tore up these people's little business and stuff. And they went to the truck with some stuff and some things that was supposed to be delivered. And they set the truck on fire. The military, they wouldn't allow their soldiers to put that kind of, And
No.
the thing is, they have no self-awareness. People are looking at this.
Well, what you're looking at when soldiers like that is they actually showing you the true meaning behind why Israel is doing what they're doing, because they hate Palestinians.
What they're doing.
Yeah.
They have no self-awareness that you're showing the world that this is what you're doing. It looks terrible. And this one that they had blew up some mosque, and they went out, and him and his girlfriend, they're both soldiers, and he proposed right in the middle of some shit. They blew, excuse my language, they blew up.
Wow.
The people they killed, and proposed and gave her a ring that they found, that they stole off the ground. That's barbaric. That's Nazi stuff. And they showing the world this. It's like they have no sense of how they look, have no self-awareness. And I keep going back to, this is why the United States discourages social media for active military. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Because people will do things like that, and they don't want you showing things like.
No, they don't. I mean, I don't know how the Israeli army work, but I know that stuff ain't supposed to be allowed.
And if that you was in the military, if that was U.S. soldiers, like say they was over in Afghanistan and they was up on TikTok and IG showing stuff, doing stuff like that, would they not? Well, first of all, they would discourage you from having them kind of things, TikTok. But what would happen if they found out that the soldiers was doing that?
Well, they'd probably be court-martialed. They'd probably be court-martialed, brought up on some charges. Okay, let me ask you about one more story that I seen running across the feeds, Miss Elisa. And this is a celebrity story. It's that Jonathan Majors story. All week long, he was having his court, and they were deliberating. The jury, he was having his court, and today, the girlfriend played a video, is what I'm getting, and it showed where she was bleeding on the neck and all of that kind of stuff. And they said it was pretty bad for Jonathan Majors. But during the week, what I gathered is that whenever the message came across the phone with Jonathan Majors from another girl, she snatched the phone out of his hand, and that began the back and forth. This is what the AP is saying. A jury began deliberating Thursday on Jonathan Major, whether he is guilty of assault following a New York trial featuring the clashing narrative about whether the rising Hollywood star was aggressive or victim during the chaotic struggle with his girlfriend, and that began in the backseat of the car. The criminal case has centered on allegations brought by Grace Jabari, 30-year-old British dancer who was called Creed 3, who was said the Creed 3 actor struck her on the side of the head, twisted her arm behind her back, and squeezed her fingers until it broke during the dispute last spring. In the closing arguments that ended before lunch Thursdays, Major's lawyer portrayed Jabari as a compulsive liar who concocted a story of an abusive relationship as revenge after catching her boyfriend of 2 years texting another woman. The 34-year-old actor dabbed his eyes with tissues as his attorney implored the jury to end the nightmare for Jonathan Majors. Prosecutors, meanwhile, said that the actor struck a blow to his partner's head at the left, stunned her in the backseat of the car. Then they said the assault was the latest escalation in Major's repeated attempts to exert control over his girlfriend through both physical and emotional violence, citing the past instance in which allegedly urged her not to seek medical attention for her head injury because it could lead to an investigation. Deliberations were set to resume Friday afternoon. The verdict may have implications for outside the Manhattan courtroom. Prior to his arrest in March, Major's King of Conquer character was being set up as the next supervillain in the Marvel Universe. Sound like did I drop?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. He was being set up as the next supervillain in the Marvel Universe. Let me go down here. The struggle in the back of the car was not captured on video, but in their closing arguments, each side furnished security footage depicting scenes leading up to and after the dispute. They said, in one video played repeatedly to the jury, Major can be seen manhandling Jabari outside the vehicle, lifting her off the ground and placing her in the back seat as if she was a doll, according to the Manhattan assistant district attorney. Minutes later, footage showed Major sprinting through the darkness of the streets in lower Manhattan in an effort to evade Jabari, who said she wanted details about the romantic texts she seen on his phone. The video, according to the defense, served as proof Jonathan was trying to escape Grace, and Grace kept attacking him. After Major fled the scene, Jabari followed a group of strangers she had met on the street at the dance club, where she could be seen on grainy security footage ordering shots of and using her injured hand to hold a champagne glass. The footage that the defense argued proved that she was unharmed following the incident, but prosecutors countered that Jabari had not discovered the extent of her injuries until the following morning, at which point she sent photographs of her bruises and hand cuts to her friends. This is not a revenge plot to ruin the defendant of a life career, Galloway said. What matters is what happened in the car that night. So I guess those were the closing arguments for Jonathan Majors and this lady, Jabari. And my interpretation of what happened is that perhaps he was texting other women. He's a celebrity. Yeah. I mean, that's just the lifestyle. And she probably did get angry and tried to snatch that phone out of his hand. To me, if she reached over and tried to snatch his property, that began the incident. But what the narrative is going to be, or is that because Jonathan Majors either resisted his phone being snatched, and as you can hear, she persisted on seeing what was on that phone, that during that little altercation where she was trying to get the information and he was resisting the information, that's what she is saying. He's guilty of being aggressive and manhandling her and stuff. But I don't know, because she's a white woman. I'll just say it, because she's a white woman and she may have had a bruised finger or whatever the hell, this man might be in danger of his career and all of that kind of stuff, just because, it's gone to this extent. She accused him of hitting him, and he's a big black man, and this jury gonna look at this thing and say, okay, well, he's guilty. But have you heard anything about this case?
Well, I wasn't following it that closely because I wanted to hear it be over. Now, I do think he's damaged. His career is damaged. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Some women are going to get mad at what I'm about to say, and then some men are going to get upset with what I'm about to say. As far as what went on that night with them in that car, they had a tussle up. A lot of couples have tussle up. The driver who was driving them, I don't think he spoke English, but he had an interpreter. He said he didn't really see any fighting, but he didn't see who hit who first, that she was doing a lot of yelling, snatching the phone, and all of that went on. Now, what went on that night, that was, to me, this is just to me, women would get upset. That was a tussle up. What I mean by tussle up, it was a snatch up. Who's that on your phone? Some of us has been there. And then you tussling, you snatching and grabbing. Somebody might get slapped, somebody might not get, but this couples have that. And I think that's what went on that night. And when I looked at the footage, yeah, he did pick up slamming the car, then she was chasing him, I've never had that. But and running down the street, who was that? When if somebody's running, a man is running away, or who's ever running away, let them go. They had all that foolishness out there that night. And do I think if they just go by what transpired that night, I think he's going to get a not guilty, because both of them is toxic. Both of them are toxic. And I think they were fighting. Not really fighting, but tussling up, snatching, grabbing, let me see, give me this, no, mushing. You know the whole thing when it comes to a tussle up. Nobody, how she got the cut on the side of the head, I don't know. The single thing, she probably got hit, or with the tussling and the snatching and the grabbing. That's what happened. That's how I'm looking at that, and I think he's gonna get a not guilty. But this is the part that some of the men aren't gonna like. When they showed the text messages. I don't think it was from this night. I think it was from some other time, where I got the understanding of why he brought up Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama, that you need to act like a woman. Like, he wasn't trying to tell her to be black or anything like that. That these are women who supported their husband who were doing great things. That's a true statement. And those who came to mind, Coretta and Michelle, they did support their husbands who were doing great things. And he was like, she doesn't support him because he's a great man and he's doing great things. Okay, I get that. But the part that sends me pause, not about the night where they had to tussle up, but that gives me pause about their relationship, because they had a mess over in where she's from, over there in Europe, in England, or Britain, wherever it is she's from, where I don't think they were allowed to use whatever that was that went on between them. But the thing that gives me pause about him, because this whole thing of I'm going to commit suicide, she was doing that too. And when people are doing that stuff, that's so manipulative, doing that kind of stuff. And she was doing it too. But when I heard the text messages from that he sent to her, and then the prosecution, I think, was, I'm not a lawyer, but I got common sense to see they were trying to use this from another incident as a pattern. I get that. Where he was telling her, they had some kind of something went on. And she got hit in the head, knocked in the head, whatever went on with her head. And she was having pain and whatever was going on. And she needed to go to the hospital. And he was telling her, well, if you go to the hospital, she was like, well, I'll tell them that I just bumped my head. I won't tell them the truth. And he was like, well, if you go and you tell a lie, they're still going to do an investigation. And she's like, well, I understand that. I wouldn't tell them, about, I'm paraphrasing, the whole truth. I'll just tell them that this happened because I still want to be with you. So why would I tell them the truth about how I got injured? And he said it doesn't matter if you go in there and lie. They're going to do an investigation. And I get what he was saying. He's right. Big black dude, little white woman, I get that. But the thing is, and he was like, but if you go in there, this is going to happen, and I'll just kill myself. I'll just kill myself. Okay, that is, and he doing that too. That is so, if I was in a relationship with someone that told me that I'm going to kill myself, well, have at it. You're not going to manipulate. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to manipulate. So manipulative to do that to someone, to tell them I'm going to kill myself. I've never had anybody tell me anything like that. And if they did, and in the future, I'm too old for that right now. I mean, that's some kind of mess you have going on when you're in your 20s and your teens.
Yeah.
And if somebody told me some foolishness like that, well, then you just going to have to kill yourself, because you're not going to manipulate me like that. And then I heard that, when I heard those text messages, I was like, okay, well, what happened to her head? What is she? It could be a lot of different things, but what happened to her head? And she was saying she couldn't sleep. She needed some painkillers, and she just had to go because her head was splitting. And he was like, but if you go in there, and even if you tell them a lie, they still going to do an investigation, and it's going to do this to me. and I just have to kill myself. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I see why they wanted to use that, because that's great to be used as a pattern in their relationship. It is. So when I heard that, that made me pause. That I don't. Is there abuse? Was he knocking this woman? Not that night. Not the night in question. Knocking this woman upside the head. She was taking it, because you see that in a lot of abusive relationships. It's just like, well, I still love you. I want to be with you.
Yeah, if it happened before, it probably happened again, huh?
Yeah, so I got that. That made me really pause right there. But also their relationship is toxic. Both of them are toxic people. You're talking, and both of them are, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. Kill yourself. You are not going. You would never manipulate me with that. But they both using that type of manipulation against one another. And when I read that he told her that, dude got issues. You telling somebody something like that. They both are toxic. They both are manipulative. What was going on in their relationship? Why was her head hurt so bad that she had to go and she was going to lie because she had to get painkillers? Were they fighting? Did he knock her upside the head? But all of that is in question. But the trial is about what went on that night. And that taxi cab, as toxic as both of them, as toxic as both of them are, what went on in that taxi cab? I just my opinion. I think he's gonna get a not guilty. I think so. How she hurt her head could have been from the tussling, the fighting, the snatching, the slapping. Let me see the phone. Instead of if some other woman texted, get out the car and say, I'm done with you. But no, you fighting and snatching and then you got injured. Then he got out the car, pushed her, throw her, whatever, push her, mush her back in. And then they running up and down the street in New York. Come back. I mean, and they too old for that too, because it's toxic. But I think he's gonna get? I'll be very surprised if he's found guilty. I really would, because it looked like a fight to me between the both of them, instigated by her probably, and he got issues too. Maybe he knocked her one, and that's how her neck. They have no business being together. Neither one of them have no business going together. But that's where I'm at with it. I'm not on both sides. I really am not. I would like to know that text message, that other fight that they had. Why was your head hurting so bad? And why was you going up in that line? And him talking about he going to kill himself if you go. Well, then I won't go. Okay, what you going to do? Take some Tylenol? What is y'all doing? Y'all don't need to be together. There's toxic. You don't need to be together. So that's where I'm at with it, Tyrone. Do I think he got issues? Yes. Do I think she's nuts? Yes. Should they be together? No. Is his career and his everything tainted and just a mess? Yes. Are a lot of people gonna mess with him? Is that gonna affect his career? Yes. But is he gonna get a not guilty? I think so.
Well, I mean, she's fighting. I just Googled her net worth, and she's worth $200,000. I don't think that that's enough money to say you worth anything. It's a lot of money to me now. I ain't gonna lie, but I think she's probably in this to win this. Because Majors is probably worth a whole lot more than that.
Maybe, but this is a criminal case. This isn't civil. So if he gets a guilty, even if he gets a not guilty, she might come at him with a civil suit to try to get some money. But this isn't civil. But she was never really trying to push this. The district attorney them said they pushed it. She went along with it. But she was still trying to protect him up until, the whole thing is just a hot mess. But I will say this about Megan Good. And because I always liked her as an actress. And then a lot of people saying that probably was Megan texting. Who knows who that was texting him, what woman that was on the phone. But I'll say this about Megan Good. You have a career in a brand as well. You all y'all said that y'all just got together and y'all got a relationship. And you doing the stand by your man, the ride or die. And I just have to say, ain't no way I would be doing this if y'all met and if you weren't the one on the phone and y'all met sometime after that and you're like, okay, he said like y'all gonna date. Wait till this foolishness is over and see whichever way it go. But there's no way I would be walking standing by a man, somebody I just met and doing no ride or die, and y'all just started dating and your dates are to the courthouse.
Oh, is that Megan Good with him?
That looks stupid for Megan. Yeah, that's Megan.
Oh, okay. It sure is, ain't it? Okay, that sure is her.
And they got together after all. So they say after all this stuff started, a new relationship. I got a career. I'm doing my thing too. Ain't no way I would be. No. And y'all dates, y'all first date is to the courthouse. That's your date. To the courthouse. She been there every day. To the courthouse. I'm not doing that with a man that's facing this. That's saying that he did it. But I'm just saying sometimes the women got to use a little bit better judgment.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if they work for the same studio, and I think she's just doing Marvel too, I'm not sure. But her career seemed to be doing pretty good. So is she getting a bag to do this stand by the studios? I'm giving her a bag to do this black woman. Because look at what this white woman, that's what it looks like to me. If she's getting a bag, allegedly, I hope it's a nice bag. I hope it's a nice bag that will set you free. Because y'all first dates is to the courthouse. What is it? Are you going on a date to the courthouse with this man? If he want to date you when this is over, then you be like, well, we could go to a movie someplace secretly, until this stuff No, I would not put my career and my brand on. Her brand isn't as big as his, but she's had longevity. And I just think she looks silly. But, I mean, I don't know. You that in love that y'all going on dates to the court? And look what the whole trial is about. Abuse. I ain't saying he did it, but she looks silly. But, women do things. Hopefully she's getting a nice bag out of this. Hopefully. I'm hoping she's getting paid to do this, and it's nice. But you would have to pay me over in the millions to do this. But I think he's going to get a not guilty.
I hope he do, and I hope he learns something from this. And just be, I guess you just got to kind of vet who you're gonna date, know that person. And I'm not saying that he's an angel, because I heard that he's like a diva also. So
yeah. But Tyrone, if you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you don't know how to choose the correct. You would know.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right.
So, it sounded like their relationship was abusive and fighting and toxic, and I'm going to kill myself. And so he got issues, too. So the fact that he with her, she got issues, he got issues, too. He said he was going to kill himself, too. So, wow. And I said they was like 18 or 19. 18 and 19-year-olds shouldn't be doing that either. But I don't know how low. What are they like it? What is Jonathan Majors with the woman? I don't know how old she is. What are they like in their 30s or like 40s?
Yeah.
Y'all 30s?
Yeah.
Why are y'all doing this? And Megan Good is in her early 40s. Girlfriend, what is you doing? No, you don't be seen with this ride. You don't ride or die with this. Your first date is to the courthouse. No. All of it just looks bad. But I do think on what happened that night, I think he's gonna get probably. I would be surprised if he get convicted, get a guilty verdict. But I think he's gonna get to his career. I'm not a fan of his, and I'm not a
Well,
fan.
no, he pretty good in his parts in those Marvel movies now. He's a good actor.
I've seen him in, like, when he did the HBO series.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, with the Smollett girl. I saw that, but I don't watch too many Marvel. But people said that he is excellent, and he's had a lot of things put on hold. And I think the damage has been done here. Because when they put them text messages out with him threatening to kill himself too, I was like, dude, no, it's awful. But I don't know.
I don't know, but see, it seemed like to me. Well, I found out he's worth $7 million, and she's worth $200,000. Okay. So there might be something further trying to come out of this, and I'm saying that just based off of how white people act and trying to sue this man. They may try to sue this man for damages or something like that. I don't know.
They might. I don't know. Only thing is, I wish him the best, however it turned out. But he got issues. He really needs to be in analysis, because he was threatening to kill himself too. You cannot ignore that. That really, when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, he was getting down like that. We know that she was threatening suicide, but he was doing it too. What kind of relationship did they have? And they not like 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. Y'all too old to be. Well, I'll just kill myself if you go to. Well, kill yourself.
And it goes against all these he bitches talking points. You know, get a white woman instead of a black woman. Become rich and wealthy, and you don't have nothing to worry about. You see these people, even though they was wealthy and successful, they still got issues. And he was dating outside of his race.
But Tyrone, I gotta push back on that. He sounds toxic too. Somebody he gonna kill himself and.
Well, yeah. It's reports that he's a diva now. I seen that when that story first came out. That you know he have temper tantrums and all that.
And he's manipulative too. Anytime you tell him somebody gonna kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that he's dating white women. If that's how you getting down, keep that to the Becky. Mm-hmm. I don't want no black women mixed up in that. Black women got enough trouble. So I don't care that he's dating white women. I never cared about that.
It sounds like he was using her as a punching bag too. That's just my thing. I don't know if he was beating that woman up or not, but
I hope not. But that text messages, she was talking about her. Whatever happened to her head, not that night, but whatever went on, and she needed to go to the hospital, and she was talking about she was going to lie about what happened. Well, what happened?
And people need to learn. People need to learn in this time period. They need to stop texting each other. If they want anything not to come out, they don't need to call each other on the phone. I mean, everything is coming out through these devices now, so I guess people don't.
People find out how toxic you are. Even if you didn't beat her up that night, we should not be hearing about all. First of all, you two shouldn't have been together because y'all sound like y'all had a mess. But I think he's gonna get a not guilty. I'm not a fan, and I'm not a fan. I'm not hoping one way or the other. But if he didn't beat her up in that car that night, then no, he should get a not guilty.
Well, based off the videos that I seen where she was standing on the corner with those people and he walked by and then he was running away from her and she was chasing him, that's what I was basing it off of. And I hope that he do get not guilty because it looks based off of those videos, look like he was trying to get away.
Yeah, that's what I'm basing it off. And but she did got her neck and stuff. But that just sounded like a bunch of tussle and slap mess was going on. And from what the driver of the car, Uber or whatever kind of car, taxi or whatever that was they were in, I'm going by what he said, that it wasn't like nobody was beating nobody up in the back of the car. I can only go by that and how the foolishness they had out there in the street. Somebody beat me up. I'm not going to chase you down the street. I'm going to run the other way. So I can only go by
Yeah. See, and that's why I went by what started it. What started it? If he got a text message and he was sitting in his area and she reached over there in his area and got the phone, then that started it.
It started snatching.
Yeah,
It started snatching. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. What went on that night, just my opinion, a lot of women will be upset, but he should get a not guilty. Now, what went on in their relationship was he abusive, knocking her upside the head and all kind of stuff, and she's still trying to stay. A lot of women will stay. They in love. They get beat up, and some men take abuse off of women. They get beat up and they stay because they're in love. That could be the case in their relationship, and I kind of sort of think it was, but what went on that night is what the trial is about.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to get a not guilty. And a lot of women will be upset with me, but that's how I'm reading it. That's how I see it. And I think if people were to really be honest about it, what went on that night, yeah, he should get a not guilty. But is he an abusive person? Maybe. Is he manipulative? Maybe. No, definitely. Because he said he's going to kill himself.
Yeah. He got some tendencies there now.
He got some issues. So, and Megan Good, does she look silly? Yes. It's just these celebrities, they have more messy stuff than regular people. Thank God I don't have that kind of stuff going on. But they have more messy stuff than regular people.
Well, let me ask you this. You said you heard something about P. Diddy getting raided or something like that. You heard about you said you heard something along
I saw it on YouTube and I saw people talking about it, but I haven't seen any outlets, like media outlets, say anything about it.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen. I have searched, and I'm gonna be honest. I think if that happened, TMZ would have been all over it.
Yeah. But I'm saying that there's enough stuff there for something like that to happen, but I don't know if it did. Yeah.
I don't know if it did. There's probably some stuff, but I think the media would have been all over it, and especially TMZ. I don't know where people getting that from. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning on the side of no, it didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's nobody. No, it's quiet from all the media sources and even the messy media sources like TMZ.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm leaning on the side of that. Probably not saying it's not gonna happen, but I don't think it has. That's just an opinion. That's an educated opinion. Nobody is reporting on it except YouTube and TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I'm patient. I'll wait. I don't. I ain't trying to make no news or whatever. So I'm just curious.
I'm curious too. We just have to wait and see. He's another one that's finished, but he got a lot of money, so he got so he'll just be a finished person with a lot of money. But
well, I mean, if it's a lot of victims, then they could break that boy. I don't know how many victims. We just know about Cassie and these 3 other people or whatever.
And some other people come up. But if you don't have you gotta have new money coming in.
Yeah.
So if people are looking at him like a piranha, he ain't gonna have no new money coming in, and people are dropping him left and right. I read an article that the award shows, like the Grammys, they were saying that they have to decide whether or not they're gonna allow him to attend. Diddy is kind of. I mean, you don't want to be taking no pictures next to with him right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Let me see who this caller is. Who's this caller?
What's going on?
What's up, Jay? You called in right in time because I'm finna get my ass up off here. What's up, Jay?
Nah, I mean, I know y'all was talking about the P. Diddy. I just keep questioning where's Clive Davis in the whole picture? Where's the CEO's deck? If you want to say, we talk about grooming and all this crazy shit. Where are the people that put him in position. I know Andre Harrell is not here no longer with us.
Well, those people wouldn't be involved in something like this now, would they?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Clive Davis's history, they questioning of what he did to Aretha Franklin.
Listen to what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
With the P. Diddy accusers and P. Diddy,
right.
Clive Davis wouldn't be involved in that, would he?
Yeah, but Clive Davis is involved with probably grooming or helping him or teaching him how the industry works.
But that ain't that wouldn't manifest in court.
You could be a grown adult. You could be a grown adult, and they say, "Well, look, this is the way this whole business works. You want $10 million? Well, you got to do this. And if anybody wants $10 million from you,
okay,
you got to do that."
Well, I'll put it to you like this right here. This is too new for those type of people names to come out then.
Well, I'm saying because hold on, but you're talking about so the old shit didn't come out because why? Because they had the industry tight knit, or because they're white people. This is I think look. If he's guilty of what he did, he deals with what he got to deal with. There's no because he's a black man he's gonna get a pass. No, but I'm gonna tell you this: why should the white man get a pass? If we're gonna treat,
I agree with you.
No special treatment for the black man, but then we're not gonna put it all on the black man either, because we know that this activity happens with a lot of the people that taught him how to do things. P. Diddy was in, right, and Clive Davis again. He has his own shit. The thing is that what happens, I think, is that they have so much money, and I don't know if they overwhelm the system so much, or they have so many connections that it never gets to where it needs to get to, or they shut it down, or they have the money. I mean, Fox News, the owner of Fox News, he's done a lot of wild shit. They don't talk about him. He was about to marry, he got married and divorced to a young chick and disappeared, it literally within months. We don't talk about those things. We talk Hugh Hefner. We went on Bill Cosby. That wasn't Hugh Hefner's house. Yes, Bill Cosby did some fucked up shit. But what about Hugh Hefner? Oh, his shit comes out later when he's dead. You can't arrest him. Like, what kind of games are we playing here? So I'm just saying, let's even the playing field out to real. And then if we're gonna call,
but I'm saying somebody got to go and accuse. Somebody got to go and accuse Clive Davis of something, don't they?
But they've been talking about Clive Davis. It's just that the media, I guess it's the biasness of the media. And then if you start talking about, well, who owns the media? Right? So is does P. Diddy got enough power to tell all those networks like Fox, nah, don't run this story? Or does Clive Davis have enough money and power? Yeah. You see, Clive Davis got enough money to shut down the whole network and tell you, listen, man, if you run this shit, you're going to be shut down, or I'm not going to bring any more clientele to your shit. And so because these networks are dependent over these artists because you see these artists bring ratings. They bring advertisement and promotion. Clive Davis, when you talk about Clive Davis, why they don't stop playing all the records that Clive Davis produced and all the artists he produced? What happened there? What about the guy from the guy with the wild hair that he killed that woman in his house? They still play his shit. He produced the fucking Beatles. Are they stopping playing the Beatles? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a game that they play. I just say, look, we're not gonna give any favoritism to anybody. If they're treating black people this way, they're treating white. Bro, just let's even out the playing field then. If you don't want black people to complain on how they being the target, then why don't you target the white people the same way and give them the same energy? It's no different. It's just by the color and nationality. That's all I'm saying. I'm not giving a pat. P. Diddy's a scumbag. He did fucked up shit that we don't know about, because I don't know what he did or didn't do. But I'm saying if he did any of the nasty shit or disrespected, violated women in any way where they felt violated and he did violate them, then he deal with what he got to deal with. If he did that to men, same thing. Clive Davis has done that to many people too. Again, they talk about what he did to Whitney Houston. Why Whitney Houston, that was the perfect image, end up on drugs? You talking about, you want to blame Bobby Brown? Here we are blaming the black man again. Who had the hands of Whitney Houston before Bobby Brown came in the picture? That's my question. That's all.
Yeah, as we talking about this, I just seen something come across my feed about Usher and Diddy. I don't know. This thing is just getting out of control now.
Yeah, but you talking about Phil Spector? Well, he went to prison, so it caught up with him. Isn't he dead now? Let me see. Phil Spector. Yeah, he's dead. He died in 21. But he did, for that woman he killed in his house, he went to prison for that. But he got away with a lot of stuff. But he went to prison.
How long they took, though? How long they took to arrest him, right?
A long time. But
Bill Spector.
They finally got him. Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, so many people, they just completely tore down Bobby Brown as it related to Whitney Houston and her drug abuse and stuff, and that was wrong to do, because her brother was the one that got her started on drugs, and then she was in the hands of Clive Davis, and from what has been said, Whitney and them and that crowd, they helped Bobby Brown to get more on drugs than what he probably ever would have been. But he was the one that was really blamed for a lot of her problems. And Bobby had his issues, but Whitney had problems way before Bobby came along. And he didn't get her on drugs. Her brother did.
Who got Ray Charles into drugs? Who got Ray Charles into drugs, into heroin? Who got Nina Simone into drugs? I mean, the label didn't know nothing about that, or let it happen, or didn't help them people. What was they doing? Aiding and abetting, or just letting it happen? That's my question.
Aiding and abetting, and letting it happen. That was the case with a lot of them. They was letting.
I just Googled Clive Davis, and it says Clive Davis forced Diddy to be gay, allegedly, and all kinds of.
There you go.
I mean, but let me just say this right here. These aren't reputable news sources. These are titles of YouTube and social media posts. So I am not saying that, so.
But allegedly, I do believe allegedly that Clive Davis helped groomed him. But I don't think nobody can make anybody gay. I do think he allegedly groomed Diddy. So, but Diddy did a lot of grooming allegedly himself. So, I don't know. It's just terrible. But will Clive Davis dirt ever come out? A lot of the dirt, because he ruined a lot of people too. But will his dirt ever come out? Probably after he's dead. Because how old is Clive Davis? Clive Davis is up there, isn't he? He should be. Let me look and see how old he is. Clive Davis, because he's up there. Maybe after he died. Let me see. Clive Davis' age.
Look like he's 91.
91, yeah. So a lot of his dirt might come out after he's dead.
I mean, they talk about Russell Simmons, but who gave Russell Simmons that idea? Was it inside Russell Simmons? Like when we talk about these people, who's behind them? And is it a bigger picture? That's all I'm trying to eliminate. Again, if they did some fucked up shit, then they should be dealing with it, because there's no pass if a woman or man is violated by them and they feel that they were disrespected. They deal with that. But there should be also more, because these people, they love to get in people's business, right? They going all up in his shit. Why don't you go all up in the look up the path, look up how it got to where it's gotten. Who's the one that introduced them to that? They always talk about all this gay shit, but they don't want to go to the source of where this shit is coming from. The same thing.
Let me see who this unknown
Look,
caller
the
is.
politicians talk the same shit, and they gay too.
Who's this unknown caller? I just opened your line. Who is this? Lord have mercy. Why y'all push one? Who is this? Okay, well, I guess they don't want to say nothing.
So, I don't know. Clive Davis has ruined a lot of people himself. So, maybe all his stuff will come out after he's dead. So, we'll just have to, if we live to see it, however long he's going to live, we will see it. Because this was the guy we was just talking about from the Playboy, Hugh Hefner. A lot of stuff came out about him after he was dead. But you have to remember, Hugh Hefner had power, but Cosby had more power and much more money than Hugh Hefner did. So you got to look at it like that.
All right, do you got your line open now? Whoever that was, I heard the mic pop.
Yeah, man. What's up? This is Cuz.
All right, Cuz. What's up?
What up, Cuz? What up, Cuz?
Yeah, hey. What's up, man? Yeah, go ahead. Clive Davis. You know, he's behind a lot of shit. That's
tell
why.
him.
Huh?
I said, tell him, Cuz. Break that down.
That's
please.
right.
Break it down to them.
How do you think Diddy got away with all he did? Allegedly got away with all he did because Clive Davis was behind him, and Clive Davis is a hell of a powerful man, and couldn't nobody touch Diddy. Nobody. Diddy, if Clive wasn't behind, you know, all those old timers like Clive, like Hugh Hefner, he was having parties. He was having parties with naked women walking around sniffing coke and carrying on, and had off-duty cops, and he had the town locked down. That's how come he never got no trouble. He had mayors and governors undercover over his house doing shit and orgies and all that kind of shit.
What about the people in Utah? The people in Utah that ain't even superstars, they part of these religious groups, and they doing all that wild shit too. That's like, whoa.
Yeah. Now they picking on Diddy. Now right now, Diddy is losing a lot of money. Hulu, they dropped him. All them endorsements dropped him, just like they dropped Kanye. You know, they dropping Diddy like flies. Yeah. I mean, all those sponsors, all those.
But there's a teaching lesson too. We Black people need their own distribution. Period. In everything. Distribution.
Yeah.
Gotta get into the distribution game big time, because you know what it is? When shit like this happens, they stop everything from happening. Because they're the distributors.
But you know who's smart? You know who's smart with that? Is it Dr. Dre? I think it was Dr. Dre. No, it was
Interscope. Who's Interscope?
Yeah.
Look at all these guys that they got all this money, and there's somebody behind them, a white guy that owns the company.
Yeah, but this black guy, he was a rapper. This black guy, he's an older guy now. He was a rapper, and he goes around and he was telling people, and he was showing people like Snoop. He helped Snoop, and he was showing Snoop how to cut out the middleman, and what's his name? Damn, it'll come to me in a little bit. Yeah, I'll think of it. I'm having a brain freeze right now. Now, Dr. Dre.
Was it somebody that hung around Dre now?
Nah, this guy's up there. He's in his late 50s, if not 60. But he used to.
Was he from up north? Was he from New York or out west?
Yeah, he was from out west.
I'm trying to help you think. I don't know who you're talking about, but
his son does a lot of acting and he sings a little bit too. He just divorced his wife a couple of years ago and had to give her buku money. He's the one that had he sold I think he sold his stock. He invented the earpods or earplugs or something.
Oh, Ray J?
Oh, Doctor. No, Doctor. Not Doctor. Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah. Yeah. He knew how to work out. He figured out a way to work out the distribution and all that, and knocked out the middleman and the white man's.
Oh yeah, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre did good. Now I can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
But Dr. Dre still has. He's good, but he's still. Listen, he got a lot of money, but that deal that he did with Beats was with that other guy, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, the same guy that gave Death Row a deal. So if you want to say, I mean, you could look at it in two different ways, right? You could say the white man is just playing business, and he's just like, he's colorblind, or he's looking at the green, right? He gave Dr. Dre distribution, and he gave Death Row distribution, right? When Dr. Dre was on Death Row, he was working with Suge, and then he left Death Row, and then he did Aftermath, right? And he got distribution by the same guy. So that guy is the same guy that's giving his enemy distribution. I mean, maybe they're not looking at it like that. They don't care about it. But my point is just they getting their money. And they don't care. And ain't nobody barking on them, is my point. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to put him in the mix because I don't know his history. But I know Clive Davis got an open history. This is not no secret shit. This shit is already public information.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
But
all right,
Dr.
y'all.
Dre is
Listen, I got to get off here. And YouTube, I'm going to shut you down. And Miss Lisa, I appreciate it. Jay and Cuz, I appreciate it. But I got to get up in the morning and handle some business.
I do too. I got to get up extra early tomorrow morning. I hate that. But, let me just say this. Dr. Dre is an abusive man, too. He used to beat up women, so.
Oh, he beat up D. Bonds? Damn.
Yeah, D. Bonds, and he used to beat Michelle for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, and his wife, she claimed, allegedly, that, but we know he has beaten up women in his past. But he managed to weather somehow, and it didn't take him out. Yeah, he weathered the storm. And I'm not saying he should have weathered the storm. But, so, some black men, they able to weather the storm. He weathered it somehow. And if you go back in history, a lot of people, you will be surprised who was abusive to people and was doing all kind of stuff. So, that's why we have to learn to separate the music from the artist, I guess. That's what we have to do. Separate the music from the artist. Because I could get the names of people and people would get upset. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, Tyrone, I'm going to. Okay, guys, thanks. I got to get up early in the morning. It was good. Y'all continue. And if we don't speak, again, happy holidays. If not, then I'll see y'all next week.
Happy holidays.
All right, sis. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.